Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if Issei confess his love to Timat and Harem? Before I start, please do support for more awesome content, and subscribe my channel and like this video. Go support and follow the Cheetah 100704 for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story. Link in the description. Issei was at a raiding game battling Serorg, the strongest youth devil. Issei was taking a final showdown with the young devil, both of them standing apart from each other. Rias was behind of Issei, seeing him with admiration. Serorg spoke, "What is your purpose?" Questioning Issei before the last fight. Issei stood in shock for a moment. His opponent was asking his purpose for the fight. Issei spoke, I want to show my king that I can protect her. Very well, I will make my dream true. Let us mark history. Serorg spoke with a grin. After saying those words, Issei felt regret that he couldn't express his love for Rias to the world. It was because of the fallen angel that broke his heart, and couldn't bring himself to confess the girl he loves. Yet all the time he wanted to confess his love, but his mind was reminding him of the fallen angel. Then Issei charged at Serorg, and as the other did the same, they began to throw punches and kicks, sending loud boom sounds. Issei felt small tears form in his eyes. After a few minutes, Issei was barely able to win. He was on his knees with blood on his face. Issei spoke in low tone, "I was able to win, but I wasn't able to confess my love." Then Issei collapsed to the ground. Rias went to Issei, seeing such state. The announcer spoke, "Team Germany has won the match." Then Issei was taken to the medical bay. Issei was unconscious for a couple of weeks. To Drakina's surprise, no one visited Issei from Germany peerage except Serzerks and the higher-ups. Issei was in his mindscape training with Drakina. Issei was painting, catching his breath, and spoke, "I'm glad I was able to win for Rias." Drakina spoke, "Yeah? I can feel your potential. You mean you understand the power of a pay?" Issei asked, excited. Drakina responded with a chuckle, "No partner, your will to get stronger. I'll need therapy after this." After Drakina wanted to break down in tears, Issei looks down for a moment, then raised his head with a smile. Issei spoke, "I will for Rias and my friends. That's I'm wanting to hear." Drakina spoke. They prepared for another duel. Drakina felt sorry for Issei that no one from his friends visited him, yet he wasn't able to bring the subject up. As time passed, Issei was busy training with Drakina before he woke up. Issei prepared an attack and jumped at Drakina while boosting his power. Out of nowhere in mid-air, Issei felt his chest having a heart attack. Issei spoke in pain, "Arg." Issei fell to the ground holding his chest with his hands. Drakina began to worry for his friend's condition. Drakina shouted, "Partner, it hurts." "Arg. Why?" Issei spoke with pain. Issei felt his heart was getting stabbed several times. With each stab he yelled in pain. While Drakina began give his aura to Issei and hope it will ease the pain. Despite Drakina's efforts, nothing was helping Issei with his pain. Drakina looked out of Issei's body if anyone was hurting him, but there was no one at the hospital room. He was getting worried for Issei's health. After a couple hours, Issei's pain stopped eventually. Drakina was watching Issei for any sign of side effects. After Drakina finished giving his aura to Issei's body was turning into a dragon body. Drakina asked, worried, "Are you okay, partner?" Issei was getting up, then sat down, still holding his chest. Issei responded with bit of pain, "Arg. Yeah, it hurts, but it felt like something was stabbing my heart." Drakina, "Do you think I overdid it?" Drakina responded, "No, you did not, partner. That pain you experienced came out of nowhere. I checked the room and no one was there." Issei spoke, "Yeah, maybe, Arg." Issei lied on his back holding his chest with pain. "It hurts," Issei exclaimed. Drakina was very concerned for his partner. Drakina started to give him aura to his body once again as Issei was clenching his fists. Issei spoke, "Drakina. Arg. End my misery. Arg. I can't, partner. You must hold on the pain." Drakina spoke, "Have Arg ever felt how Arg I feel? Do you have Arg any knowledge?" Issei spoke. Drakina started to think deeply but couldn't think of anything. He felt sorry he couldn't help his host. After another few hours the pain lowered and Issei was trying to stand but his legs was failing him. Drakina spoke, "Okay, partner. Seem the pain is gone." Issei spoke, I hope this doesn't again. Issei gave a small smile. Dryag spoke, oh, about time. You going to wake up? Let's hope is nothing bad with your soul. Issei spoke, thanks for being there for me despite you couldn't help. Can't wait to see some pay. With a perverted grin, Dryag could only whimper hearing his partner words. Then Issei started to wake up with feeling ache all over his body. Probably he hadn't moved for a good while. Issei noticed he was in a hospital room. Then he heard a familiar voice, finally you awake. Issei turns his head and it was Sarorg sitting next to him. Issei gave a small nod and saw it was just only him in the room. Issei asked, where's everyone? Sarorg stood up and sighed and responded, Rias and her peerage are your home waiting. The leader's a bit concerned about you, think you were in a coma like a month. Issei was surprised that he gone for that long. He wondered if he worried Rias to death. Issei tried to get out the bed but his body started to fail him. Sarorg placed his hands on Issei's shoulders and spoke, whoa. Easy buddy, you hadn't moved your body for a month. Let your body get used to it. Rest for now. Sarorg sat next to Issei and spoke, it was nice fight out there Issei. Issei chuckled and spoke, yeah it was. Sorry I had to for Rias. Sarorg spoke with a grin, it's not your fault but we will have a rematch someday. Issei smiled and looked at the ceiling. The two were quiet, enjoying the brotherhood. Then they would speak about their dreams. As Issei spoke his dream his heart felt heavy. Issei was leaving the hospital after recovering he was transported back home. Issei appears in front his home. Issei spoke, finally home. I can touch Appa Arg. Dryag spoke, you okay? Yeah but I should be happy but I feel my heart is heavy. Issei spoke. Issei walked to his front door and could the sense of something telling him to stay away. Dryag spoke, this is not normal. Issei opened the door and entered his house. He saw Rias and the peerage laughing and having good time, especially Kaneko. It seems no one noticed him when he entered. Issei spoke to himself, so much to be worried. Then Rias noticed a presence nearby and looked up and saw it was Issei himself. Rias spoke with a happy smile, welcome home Issei. Issei approached Rias wanting to hug her but felt a sudden disgust in his stomach. He was wanting to throw up right the spot. Dryag spoke, no. Issei asked, what is it? Vala made the deed with them. The girls who did it is Rias, Akino, Asia and Kaneko that did it with Vala. Dryag responded. What about the others? Issei asked in fear. Dryag responded reassuring, Zenobia, Ireina, and Rosweiss are okay. Issei realized since he was a dragon Vala did it. He wanting to let out his wrath but knew he must reasonable. Rias asked seeing Issei's shocked face, something wrong Issei? Issei responded, no president, I'll need to get to my room to rest. Then Asia came beside Issei and spoke, you just came back. At least, no need Asia. Since you all showed me how good of friends you are. Issei spoke. The group was looking at Issei wanting to know what he meant. Kiba and Gasper had their heads down knowing what Issei meant. Rias decided to ask, what do you mean us being of friends? Issei was wondering if he should tell them or not. What worse can it get, he asked himself. Issei responded with a hurt tone, you guys never came to visit me. No one was there when I woke up. Akino was next to speak trying to explain, oh. Issei. Rias and everyone else were busy. Yeah busy, ing with Vala. Issei spoke coldly. The girls were shocked to be accused and wondered how Issei knew. Zenobia, Rosweiss, and Ireina were looking at the other girls in shock. Zenobia asked Kaneko, is it true? Kaneko could only look away from Zenobia. Issei spoke with a cold smile, Rias, Kaneko, Akino, and Asia, I can't blame you for wanting affection. You chose Vala, which I can't be close to you girls anymore. Akino asked in fear, what are you saying Issei? Issei responded with a motionless face, I'm moving away from this house. Issei began to walk away to the front door of the house. Rias spoke as tears began to flow out of her eyes, wait, don't. Zenobia, Rosweiss, and Ireina began to follow Issei and giving a disdain look to the other four girls. Issei was outside of his home and started walking on the sidewalk trying to clear his mind. As Gasper and Kiba would leave to their rooms how to amend their faults with Issei. Dryag spoke, partner. What is it Dryag? Issei asked. You still have part of your harem. Dryag spoke trying to Issei cheer up. Issei was silencing, walking for 10 minutes until he finds a bench where he could sit. Issei spoke in his friend, I can't call the girls my harem because I never confessed my feelings to them. I'm still afraid they'll reject me. Dryag spoke, Tsk. I wished I could beat you until you open your eyes. The girls clearly loves you well, part of the girls. Think. Remember. Issei was silent with his bangs covering his eyes. He started to think what Drake told him. He couldn't deny what the girls did for him. Then his thoughts were interrupted by people sitting next to him. It was Zenobia, Ireina and Rias that were sitting next to Issei. Zenobia spoke with concern. Issei, please don't do anything stupid. We know that you are hurt. We also it's our fault that we didn't visited you. I hope you can trust us again. You, don't apologize, Zenobia. It's also my fault that I have a weak heart. Issei spoke, trying to make sure the girls won't have regret. Issei continued speaking, you can fall in love with someone else if you want. Which I won't be mad, but sure I'll be upset just for the time being. He spoke looking at the dark sky, not wanting to meet the girls' gazes. Ireina took hold Issei's face and faced towards her and spoke, don't disesteem yourself. You saved everyone you cared about. Even though they left you, yet I know you that you still care about us. Don't even doubt yourself that you feel alone. We care for you. Ireina pulled Issei to her chest as Issei felt comfort by the words. Issei thought himself maybe needed someone wake him from his pain. After a minute Ireina released the hug and Issei took a look at the girls. Rias spoke with a gentle smile. I'll be there for you, Issei. Same here. Zenobia spoke. Issei gave a small smile and spoke. Thanks, I needed to hear that. Also Dryag, who started. I'll do my best to move on. First I'll find a place to sleep. You girls can go home without worries. Rias spoke. We'll not do that. Issei, knowing the girls won't back down, so he decided let them do what they pleased. He stood up and started walking to the streets as the girls followed him. Not long after, Issei found a hotel was open. He was about to pay the rooms for the girls, but the girls insisted to share the same room. After paying for the large room, they headed to the designated room. Issei sat on the bed trying to relax his mind since he experienced a lot in a few hours before. He dragged himself to bed, then the girls went to sleep with Issei. Ireina and Zenobia took Issei both sides as Rias went on top of Issei. Within a few minutes the people in the room fell asleep. In Issei's mind, Issei found himself in his mind as Dryag was looking at him, waiting for him to speak. Issei spoke, Hey Dryag. Thanks for the talk. Dryag had a grin on its face and spoke, Well, you're my host and a friend. I'm surprised that you didn't went insane. Most of my hosts who suffered betrayal, either they killed their harem or left them entirely and killed themselves. You still have part of your harem, but the others can be replaced with new ones. Yeah, but I don't mind if one girl stayed with me. Issei spoke. Watch it, Issei. Don't get discouraged. You still can fix yourself, which is not too late. I mean, you are a pervert, but in time you'll manage it. Dryag spoke. Issei sat and crossed his legs and spoke, Hey Dryag. Was it worth it? Dryag was confused. Issei questioned and asked, What do you mean, partner? Issei had his face covered with his bangs and responded, Was it worth the fame? Was it worth everything I'd done? Am I worthy to be the Red Dragon Emperor that everyone feared, now just the face of the supernatural? Would they say the Red Dragon Emperor is known as a pay dragon? It too late to fix your honor, dignity and respect you once had over time. I a perverted devil that within a year I destroyed your reputation. Dryag was silent, looking at Issei, and responded with a calm voice, At first when you were known as the cursed title, I was in shock and disbelief. Now I'm depressed. It still hurts my pride. There's time to fix it. You and I are partners, either we like it or not. You are Red Dragon Emperor who never back down, fight for his friends and loved ones. Another thing, stop being depressed. This is my depression. I'm here stuck in this sacred gear for countless years, seeing my hosts die in fights or gone mad with power. Dryag shouted at the end. Issei spoke with apologized tone, Yeah? You're right, Dryag. Maybe I was feeling in the moment. Then Issei left his dream and slowly woke up. He see the girls hugging him tightly. Issei started to straighten the girl's hair with his gentle touch. Issei decided to speak to Dryag. Hey Dryag? There was no response from Dryag, but Issei started to get worried for Dryag, but felt Dryag is still with him. Issei spoke. Maybe I push Dryag buttons. Zenobia, Ireina and Rias started to wake up from their sleep. They saw Issei awake. Zenobia spoke with a small smile. How are you feeling, Issei? Issei responded, I'm okay. Then Ireina spoke while hugging Issei's arm. Issei, we're here for you. Issei spoke, thanks. We need to go to school since it's Monday. The girls nodded and they magically changed their clothes into their school uniforms. Rias spoke, I'll go ahead first since I'm a teacher. Rias left the hotel and headed to school. After an hour, Issei and the girls left for school. Before they were in school, Ireina got inside of Issei's house and grabbed their school bags and extra clothes for Issei to change. As they were heading to school, Ireina and Zenobia noticed how quiet is Issei. Also, he wasn't looking at the girl's chest. It seems Issei was lost in thought. Once they entered the school grounds, the students looked at Issei with death glare, knowing he was pervert, also walking with beautiful girls next to him. But that day was different. They noticed that Issei was giving a gloomy aura. Some students were whispering to each other like, Issei is giving a gloomy look. What do you think had happened to him? They headed to class as usual. Issei sat in the of the classroom. His two friends went to greet him. Motohama spoke. Sup, Issei, got any plans for today? Issei responded, no. Then Matsuda spoke. Bro, you giving a depressing vibe. You good? Issei looks at his two friends and responded, yeah, just had a bad night. Motohama spoke. Don't worry, I got the perfect medicine for depression. It the limited porn magazine. Motohama took out the magazine out of his bag. The girls in the classroom were giving death glares at the boys. One of the girls spoke, gross. What great way to start the week. Motohama placed the magazine on Issei's desk, showing a white woman on the magazine. Issei looked at it, and took magazine to Motohama. Issei spoke, I'm not in the mood for it. The people in the classroom were shocked that Issei turned down the offer. Usually Issei get excited for it. Zenobia and Ireina were a bit worried for Issei, as Asia were nervously looking at Issei. Not long after the class started for the day. As the class was in session, Asia tried to speak with Ireina and Zenobia, but the girls ignored Asia. As lunch rolled around, Issei left the classroom to eat at the cafeteria. Ireina and Zenobia followed Issei to keep him a company. Issei sat one of the tables and grabbed food from the cafeteria. Then Issei noticed Ireina and Zenobia sat at his table. Zenobia spoke, you still hurt? Issei responded, I want to move on, but it hurts. Well, I didn't make the first move when I had a chance. Ireina spoke with a frown face, don't beat yourself with that mindset. What done is done. You have us. Issei spoke with a small smile, true. It'll take time to recover. I couldn't imagine that Vala did it. I hear a virgin. Zenobia spoke, Issei, careful with your words, only that it'll keep you from moving on. Issei simply nodded as he was about to eat his lunch. He felt his stomach pain and wanting throw up. Issei, can we talk? Asia spoke. Issei looks at Asia and started to back away from her. Issei responded, I can't. Asia was wanting to cry on the spot but spoke, please Issei. Asia started to move closer to Issei as Issei can feel the effects. Then Ireina pulled Issei out of table and placed herself in front of Issei. Ireina spoke, trying to be nice, Asia. I need you to leave Issei alone. Asia spoke, but Zenobia butted in and spoke, don't make anything worse than it is. Asia could only back off with teary eyes. Then Asia left with tears. Issei spoke, thanks Ireina, Zenobia. Ireina spoke, don't worry Issei. I have questions. Why you looked wanting throw up? Issei responded, I'm part dragon. As Vala is welding Albion when Vala did the deed. It tells me to not get closer, especially we are rivals. Dryag explained it to me. Zenobia spoke as they began to eat their lunch, what if you mark us? Ireina started to blush to hear her friend's suggestion. Issei was lost in thought. After a minute Issei responded, not now. After the group were done with lunch, they headed to class wanting to finish their day. Rias came to the classroom as their last teacher of the day. Rias looked at Issei with sympathy. As the class continues, Issei was trying to speak with Dryag multiple times, but Dryag didn't respond. Issei heard that Dryag was asleep and cut the connection with Issei as if wanting to be alone. Issei spoke in his mind, well, there's nothing I can do but wait for Dryag to calm down. As the class ended, everyone left. Asia had to head the Occult club. Issei was not wanting to go the club, but he is still a pawn of Rias. Issei, Zenobia, Ireina and Roswise headed to the club room. Ireina spoke encouraging Issei, "Don't worry, we're here for you." Issei took courage and knocked on the club room door. They heard a voice, "Come in." Issei and his group entered the club. They saw Rias and her peerage, including Sona and her peerage also. Ravel was also there too. They had gloom expression over them, and none of them was wanting to talk. Issei noted that Rias might told Sona about it. The rest heard the news, he guessed. Issei made sure to stay away from Rias, Akino, Kaneko, and Asia. As no one was wanting to speak, Sona took the initiative. "Rias, any plans for today?" Sona asked. Rias could only at Issei and responded, "Just take the contracts for today. Everyone get their contracts." Everyone took contracts as Issei had to approach Rias, trying not to gag. It took all his will to get the contracts. As Issei was about pull away his hand from Rias' desk, Rias immediately grabbed Issei's wrist, holding it tight, not letting him go. Issei started to plead, "Let me go." Rias started to speak, "No, I'm not. I need you to listen." Issei felt the effects started to hit him hard. Issei felt the pain, his stomach wanting to drop off to the ground. "Please let me go." Issei spoke. Rias spoke, "The girls and I were just feeling the moment with Vala." Issei was wanting to cover his ears as if the nail scratching the chalkboard close to his ears. Rias continues to speak, "I still care for you." Issei spoke, "Please let me go." Then Asia, Akino and Kaneko went to hug Issei's side, wanting to say their excuses. Asia spoke with tears, "Please Issei, there was reason. I promised to be yours." Ireina, Zenobia, and Roswise were filling with anger. The next thing that Issei did shocked everyone. Issei shouted, "Let me go!" Issei pulled his arm hard and threw Rias towards the couches. He pushed Asia away. He took Akino and slammed her to the wall, causing Akino to gasp for air. Then Issei kicked Kaneko away from him, causing her roll on the ground. Everyone was in disbelief that Issei was able to do harm to his own comrades. Roswise spoke, "Issei, please calm down. Listen to my voice." Issei started to listen to Roswise, and started to walk towards her. Then unexpected he hugged Roswise. Roswise did the same. Some reason she felt happy to have Issei in her arms. Rias recovered from the hit, and saw Issei in Roswise's arms. She felt like she lost Issei. Akino, Asia, and Kaneko recovered and saw Issei hugging Roswise. After a minute Issei recovered his emotions and spoke, "President. I'm sorry, but I can't return your feelings or the girls. I'll still be your pawn and do what you command, but no longer a person can be close to you." Rias spoke, wanting to hug Issei but was blocked by Ireina. "Issei, is there any way to fix this?" Issei responded, still hugging Roswise, "Then no, fixing it is too late. If you need emotional support, go to Vala. I wish you girls well with Vala." Before Issei left the club he spoke, Gasper, Kiba, Ravel, and others. "Don't feel guilty, and I'm not mad either. We are still friends." Issei left the club room as Ireina, Zenobia and Roswise followed him. Ravel noticed Issei is gone. She also decided to follow him to have a word with him. Rias could only cry in tears, seeing the no way fixing their relationship, or have a relationship with Issei. Sona and her peerage watched the group with pity. Sona never thought Rias and her peerage are divided by one action. Issei was walking away the old school building. Then Ireina, Zenobia and Roswise chased him down until they caught up to him. Issei spoke, "I'm sorry you had to see that." Zenobia spoke, "We don't blame you. We know you were just holding back." Issei spoke, "It better to be back home than moving out. Since I'm still Rias' pawn as long away I'm from them." Roswise asked with concerned look on her face, "You sure? You don't have to trouble yourself. It better that way. My parents still lives there. I must take account for the people who cares." Issei responded, as they were heading back to their house. Ravel was behind them, catching them up. Ravel spoke, "Issei, wait." Issei stopped in his tracks and turns to Ravel. Before Issei could say a word he was immediately hugged by Ravel. Ravel spoke with a sad expression, "Issei, I'm sorry because of my mother." Issei responded, "No need to apologize. It's not your fault. I'll be still here for you." Ravel continues to hug Issei, glad Issei is still with them. She was distraught by the news, hoping Issei would be okay. After a few minutes, Issei had contracts to do as the others as well before heading home. Before the day ended, Issei was summoned to Azazel House. After a minute, Issei was in front of Azazel House. Issei knocked the door. After a few seconds, the door opened, revealing Azazel, who greeted him. Azazel spoke with a cheerful tone. Issei finally came. What if I said I brought girls with bountiful s to touch? Before could respond, Azazel noticed Issei's mood, which got him concerned for him. Azazel asked, Why are you down? Something happened? Issei responded, Well, things happened. Is there something you need? Not wanting to tell the reason, Azazel spoke, Come on in. There's something I need to say. Issei entered Azazel House, and after getting settled in the living room, Azazel was the one to start the conversation. Azazel spoke, The reason I summoned you here. Because of a being want to meet you. Issei started thinking, who wants to meet him? He couldn't think of anyone who wanted to see him. Azazel continues speaking, Wait here, Issei, I'll get the person. Azazel left the living room somewhere in his house. As Issei sat in the room alone, Issei decided to enter his scape. Once he got in, he was standing before the hosts of Drag, chatting among each other. Issei spoke, Is Dryag available to speak? All the hosts looked at Issei, and one of them responded, Sorry, Issei, Dryag is not available to speak. Shouldn't Dryag be helping me out? Issei asked. And another host responded, Yes, as always, but remember Dryag has his own time to himself. We noticed that your partnership with Dryag are straying. We don't why, and we're here talking about it. A different host asked Issei, What you and Dryag last talked about? Issei responded, Well, it's personal. It's my problem to fix. Don't blame you. We never had Dryag cut us off before. Hope you can fix it one way or another. The host spoke. Issei made a small smile and spoke, Thanks for a talk with me. With Issei left his mind back to the real world. Then Azazel was returning back to the living room. Azazel spoke, Issei, I got the person. Issei looks the person who was in front of Azazel, which was a girl with gothic outfit. Issei started to remember someone similar when he was on Juggernaut Drive. Issei spoke with fear, Ophus? Azazel spoke to calm down Issei, Don't worry, she won't hurt you. She wanted to speak with you. Ophus sat next to Issei, and she looked at Issei's eyes with emotionless eyes. Issei was asking himself what Ophus want talk to him. Ophus started while looking at Issei's emotionless expression, Red Dragon Emperor. I want to know, is there something more than existence? Issei was visible confused by her statement. Issei responded, I don't know how to answer in exact words. Ophus simply looked Issei and asked, What purpose you fight for your master and comrades? Ophus was wanting to know what his purpose and hope for her to find her purpose also. Issei responded with his head down, I fought because I cared. I don't anyone get hurt and live a better world for them. I was also willing to die for them. That why I can't give up a fight that involves with them. Ophus spoke, I see you cared for them. What would you say to me? Issei looks at Ophus for a moment and responded, I don't know. Let me show the world to you. Things you can enjoy. Maybe you'll find that you need. I think you don't know much what we do. Ophus simply nodded her head. Azazel was watching the entire interaction. The next moment Ophus did something unexpected. Ophus let one of her snakes bite on Issei's hand. One moment later Issei was knocked out. Azazel spoke concerning Ophus. He's asleep. Ophus responded. Azazel got out of his chair and approached Ophus and asked, Why you did it? Ophus responded with a monotone, He seemed tired. I'll speak with Dryag. Ophus spoke to Issei's hand, Dryag. Then the green gem glows out of Issei's hand and Dryag spoke, Yes, Ophus? Ophus responded, Tell me. What wrong with Red Dragon Emperor? Dryag spoke, Seems nothing to escape your eyes. The answers you want that you'll get. Dryag explained the day Issei got his heart broken. Dryag said he was also feeling tired of these problems. Azazel listened carefully. He wanted to help the two to have a good relationship as best friends. After explaining, Dryag asked, Anything else, Ophus? Ophus responded, No. With that, Dryag gem disappeared and went back to sleep. Meanwhile, Issei was in his mind with other hosts. Issei spoke, Hey guys, do you know to move on? One of the hosts responded, I say forget about them. Treat them as normal, nothing more or nothing less. Other hosts spoke, Easy to say but hard to act. Issei spoke, At least is something. After a half of hour, Issei started to wake up and saw the two people watching him. Issei spoke, "Why did I fell asleep?" Azazel responded, "It was Ophus made you sleep. She had personal matters to do." Issei find it odd that Ophus had to make him knock out if she had personal matters. He decided to not question about it. Ophus spoke, "I'll talk to you later." With that, Ophus disappeared with purple snakes surrounded her. Issei stood up and started to get ready to leave. Azazel spoke, "Hey Issei, if you need anything come to me." "Alright?" Issei looked at Azazel with a bit of confusion and responded, "Okay sensei." Issei left Azazel home and started going to his home. As he was reaching his home, he started to himself, hoping Dryag would be listening. Issei spoke, "So much drama to deal. If only I confessed none of this would happen, or maybe it could be worse than it is. Is there anything I could do? Maybe the dream of a harem king isn't worth it. I'm weak at heart, body, and fighting. I have to rely on others when I fail." Then a blue gem started to glow on his left hand and male voice spoke, "Finally I'm able to speak to you." Issei was shocked to hear someone else other Drag is in his soul. The voice spoke, "I'm the previous host of Alboin, the jewel you took. I've been watching you for a while from the last weeks. I notice you are heartbroken. Don't worry, I'll help any way I can." Issei spoke with a bit of hope in his voice, "Can you let Dryag speak with me?" Probably. Remember, Dryag is a being, I'm just a host." "I'll try. Hope to speak together soon." The voice responded. Issei spoke, "Thanks." Issei reached his home and opened the door, saw Ireina, Ravel, Rosweiss, and Zenobia waiting for him. He also saw Kiba and Gasper standing near. Issei spoke, "I'm back. Guys." Kiba started to approach Issei, and Issei looked at him wondering he was going to say. Kiba hugged Issei tightly and Kiba spoke, "I'm sorry that I wasn't there as your friend. I hope you can forgive us." Issei started to pat Kiba's back and spoke, "It's alright, I don't blame you or anyone. It is my fault I put you guys through this. I hope I can be better than this. Gasper, I'm sorry that you hurt for what I done." Gasper started sobbing and darted towards Issei and hugged him tightly. After a minute the guys separated from the hug. The guys have a determination expression to be brothers in arms. Rosweiss spoke, "Who ready for dinner?" Everybody immediately raised their hands and they went to the large table ready for dinner. Meanwhile, Rias was in the orc room sitting on his chair. Akino, Kaneko, and Asia were on their way home. Sona and Peerage were long gone for the night. Rias spoke to herself, "What should I do? It was only one night with Vala. Issei shouldn't overreact over it." 7. Rias started to think how to get Issei to herself after an hour of thinking, but nothing came to mind. Her thoughts started to get dark by the minute. Then, like an invisible sword came to her chest, Rias started breath heavily after the moment. Rias spoke darkly, "If Issei can't be mine, then no one will." Then a shape-like figure started to come out of the shadow, which was Vala. Vala spoke, "How are you doing, Rias?" Rias responded, "I'm fine." With that, Vala started to leave the orc room. As they were leaving, Alboin spoke to Vali. "Everything is going to plan." Vala asked, "Why that?" "Since I told no one about my rivalry, and since you're the strongest I'll tell you. The reason Dryag and I fight because of a woman from long ago. I had my eyes on the dragon for myself, but Dryag decided to join, claiming it is his mate. It turns out our powers are the same, no one can outpower one another. Ever since we battled to see who is the strongest of both us. The dragon of my dreams was nowhere to be seen again since Dryag fought me." Alban spoke. Vala chuckled and spoke, "You fought over a woman, who dumb can you be? Also just to be killed by the three factions. Do you remember the color of the dragon you liked?" Alban responded, "Red. No wonder you wanted kill Dryag so much, since it reminded you of the dragon." Vala spoke, "My wish is to be the mate with her. Now the only thing I want to is to kill Dryag." Alban spoke. In Issei home, the group was eating their dinner peacefully. As Issei was eating his dinner made by Rosweiss, next to him was Ireina. On Ireina's face she had a look of concern for Issei, wondering what Rias would do to him. Then Ireina slowly reaches her hand for Issei's hand. Moments later Ireina was able to reach Issei's hand, which Issei took notice. He led Ireina to take holding hands, which Ireina simply made a small smile. Next to Issei was Zenobia, who was also slowing, reaching her hand to Issei with a blushing face. Once Issei felt another hand on his other hand, he let be, which was Zenobia, who was holding his hand. It surprised him a bit which when he saw Zenobia blush. Ireina noticed her best friend doing which had a jealous look but lowered her jealousy since she knew Issei wanted to become a harem king someday. Then a group of people came inside the house which were Akino, Asia, and Kaneko. When Asia saw Issei she wanted to go hug him, but remembered that Issei pushed her away. Ravel, who was at the table eating, had glare on her face at Kaneko. Akino spoke with a fake smile. Hello everyone. Welcome Akino. I'll go take fresh air. Issei spoke. He got out of his seat and walked out of the house wanting to be away from the girls. He went to the backyard looking at the dark sky. Then he felt pair of hands on his shoulder which he looked back which was Ireina and Zenobia. Ireina spoke. Issei, you are hurt. Issei shook his head and spoke. No? The scent on them causing me pain on my body. Issei. I'm sorry for you that you have to go through. Zenobia spoke with a sad expression. Issei looked Zenobia and placed a hand under her chin which made Zenobia blush. Out of instinct Zenobia decided to make her first move which was ing Issei on the lips. It shocked Issei by surprise it was the second time getting it aside from Rias. Zenobia was kissing with full passion and emotion. Zenobia pulled away and looked at Issei of any reaction. Ireina, who watched the whole thing, was getting jealous that her best friend made the first move. Issei spoke shocked. Zenobia. It all began when you asked Michael to let us pray. From there my admiration grew since then. Zenobia explained. Issei was about to speak but Ireina interrupted. No fair Zenobia. I was wanting to make the first move. Then Ireina hold back knowing if she does anything out of jealousy she will fall. Issei on the other hand decided calm Ireina. He placed his hands on Ireina's shoulders. Issei spoke. Don't worry Ireina, you still in my heart. Ireina smiled happily and spoke with a quiet tone. Thanks Issei. The two girls hugged Issei from his both side. Issei made a small smile meanwhile Rosweiss and Ravel watched with bit of jealousy. After like 30 minutes the group outside went inside. Akino, Asia, and Kaneko already left the kitchen and headed to their rooms. After having their dinner they decided to sleep. Issei got in his room but smelled of dragon scent which he stood away. Issei decided to go one of the guest rooms. Once in the room Issei took the futon out of the closet and began to arrange it. Issei spoke. It looks large but it will do. As he was looking at the futon, Issei turned off the lights and lay inside of his futon and closed his eyes. In his mindscape he was alone surrounded by flames. He knew he was in Dryag domain. Issei spoke. Hey Dryag. After a minute there was no response from Dryag and Issei decided to shout. Where are you, old lizard? We need to talk. Then in the middle of the flames Dryag appeared and spoke. What do you want, partner? I had to deal with one of rival hosts telling me to see you. Issei gulped and sat down cross-legged and spoke. I'm here for a request. What would that be, partner? Dryag asked in amusement. Issei responded. I would like to train more like last time. Also I would like apologize for I did to you. I know I'm not best of friends and emotionally strong. Dryag spoke. Very well, I take your apology. I also have to apologize since of those kind of moments I have, but I'll train you past your limit like never before. Issei spoke. I'm glad. Shall we get started? This time try to endure. Dryag spoke. Before Issei got another word to say, he punched in his stomach by Dryag's large fist. Issei was sent flying in the void. Never in his life was to feel so much pain his dream. Issei took out his gauntlet and boosting as quickly as possible. Dryag wasn't going to be easy on Issei. Dryag swung his tail at Issei which Issei was barely to dodge before getting hit by a punch. After a few minutes it seemed Issei fighting for his life. Armor was broken, ton of bruises and cuts all over his body. It also seemed to be bleeding at every part of his body. Issei was trying to get his bearings together, then he got hit by a tail. Dryag spoke. Yours weak. How do you expect protect who you care? Issei launched himself for attack while boosting his power. Dryag easily punched Issei square on his body, send Issei flying back. Don't you want to quit? Dryag taunted. Issei stood up weakly with his fist clenched and spoke. No. I'll fight to the end. Issei charged at Dryag at all he got. Dryag smirked, then dodged the attack, then made a combo moves on Issei by kicking, punching, and swinging his tail. Issei hit the ground too weak and tired to fight. Issei spoke weakly as blood was spitting out his mouth. No more. Dryag stopped his attack and got close to Issei. Don't worry, partner, just your soul is beaten, but your actual body will ache. Dryag spoke, trying to calm the boy. Issei looked at Dryag and spoke, Are we friends? Dryag responded with a chuckle, Yeah, we are. Issei was pulled out of his mindscape. In the real world, Issei felt warm objects pressing on his body. Issei tried to move but felt his body ache everywhere. Then Issei heard Zenovia's voice, You're awake. You was sleeping like a rock. Then Novia made a small giggle. Issei noticed Rias, Ireina and Ravel were sleeping on him. Zenobia spoke, You're mine. Issei. The girls were worried for you. So it couldn't be helped. Issei was disturbed by Zenovia's first words, but either way he was glad he was being looked after. He was too tired to ask about the girls. Issei spoke, Well, I'm glad you guys care for me, as I'll do the same. Issei yawned, wanting to sleep before he went night out. Issei felt Zenovia's arms around him and pulled his cheek for a. Zenobia spoke with small giggle, Hee. Sleep well, Issei. Issei fell asleep as the girls began to hold tightly towards Issei's body. Weeks passed by. Issei was being held by Ireina, Zenobia, Ravel and Rias in his both arms. They were heading to school in arms. Zenobia spoke, Geez, Issei, as your first girlfriend. It should be just the two of us. Ireina spoke with a sulk face, Zenobia. We agreed to share. Yeah, we did. Now Issei have total of 4 girlfriends. Zenobia spoke with a pouting face. Ravel spoke, I'm just here because Issei need company, not because I wanted to. Now girls. We are going to school, just break it up. Rias spoke. Issei could only chuckle nervously, seeing the girls started to bicker all over again. Flashback, few weeks earlier, a few days after the confession of Zenobia. Zenobia was being clingy with Issei, basically following everywhere where she could. Issei was surprised by her attitude, changed into a lovely girl who is over cloud 9. Even Zenobia would go in the bathroom when Issei is taking a bath. Issei was in a bathtub relaxing, then he heard someone walking in. Before he could do anything, his eyes get covered by a pair of hands. Guess who? Zenobia spoke. Issei responded, Zenobia. Correct. Now relax, dear. Zenobia spoke with a soft tone. Issei felt soft flesh on his head. He started guessing it is Zenovia's pressing on him. Zenobia was blushing madly, then decided to get in the tub with Issei. Which Issei was able to open his eyes. He started to blush, see Zenovia's naked body so close to him. Zenobia, still blush on her face, decided sit on Issei's lap and facing towards him. Issei was trying hard to not bleed out of his nose. Issei spoke with a blush, Zenobia, shut up. Issei. Zenobia spoke. Then Zenobia pulled Issei's head to her chest, which shocked Issei. Issei started lose his sense of the softness of Zenovia's well-developed chest. Zenobia seemed to smiling to have Issei close to her. Zenobia spoke to herself, just mine. What wrong with me? Is it wrong just keep it for myself? At least he is with me. Zenobia were interrupted by something poking on her stomach. Issei was embarrassed that his little friend decided to be lively. Zenobia could only look down and saw Issei's friend. Zenobia spoke with a small smirk, Now you want children with me. Issei was blushing madly and spoke, Well, you are. Why? It can't be helped. Maybe I can fix it. Should we start? Zenobia spoke. Lemon, removed. Ravel spoke, What are you doing with Issei's clothes? Oh. Well, I asked Issei if he don't mind I take his clothes to the basket. He said he didn't mind? Zenobia responded. Then why your hair is wet? Ravel asked while getting suspicious. Zenobia responded, trying to get Ravel to leave her. My hair got damp really quick when I was in the bathroom. Ravel sighed and spoke. Alright, I just find odd. I'll let you be. With that, Ravel left Zenobia alone and headed to the bathroom. Zenobia went to Issei's guest room and locked the door. Zenobia laid on the bed and sniffed Issei's clothes and began to play with herself. Issei was heading to his room. He forgot to his shirt to the bathroom. At the moment he was shirtless, then was bumped by Ravel on the way. Issei spoke. Sorry for getting your way, Ravel. Ravel at the moment was blushing seeing Issei shirtless. She could see Issei's well body forming, also a pack of abs forming on his abdomen. As Issei was waiting for a response, Ravel places her hand on Issei's abdomen. Issei was shocked by the sudden movement. Ravel moves her hands slowly on Issei's abs forming. She started to daydream the day Issei will get to a well-toned abs. Then she came to reality, realizing what she was doing. Ravel quickly removed she hand and spoke, "Don't get the wrong idea, I just curious what it felt like." Ravel's blush was proving otherwise. Issei spoke, "It's alright. Feel free touch them since it doesn't do any harm." Ravel's eyes widened, then she slowly placed her hand on Issei's abs. She started to let her hand roam on Issei's abs. Ravel spoke, "Getting built. Hard work. Sacrifice." Ravel remembered she had to a shower, so she left quickly with blush. Issei was confused, but it didn't bother him. Ravel was blushing in the bathroom and began to think scenarios of Issei. The flashback still continues. Another few days continues. Zenobia was trying to get intimate with Issei, but she always get interrupted. Also she noticed Ravel, Rias, was getting closer to her lover. Ireina had to go heaven for a special meeting with Michel. As for Rias, Aquino, Asia and Kaneko were out of the house for the moment. Issei was in the basement training in his balance breaker for hours. He was trying to surpass his boosting limit. Dryag spoke, "I can see the breakthrough, you're close. Keep trying." Issei was swinging his attack at the dummies, also he was trying using his tail. "I must get stronger for people. To protect. To care." Issei spoke, trying break his limit. The gauntlet spoke, "Boost." Issei was glad he was break his limit, and continued boost a few times until he reached his limit. Dryag spoke, "Reset." Issei dropped to his knees tired, then he removed his helmet, letting air rush his face. Issei seemed to smiling. Issei spoke, "Finally? I was able to beat my limit. Great job, partner. There's still much potential in you. We should continue training at night." Dryag spoke with pride. Issei dispelled his armor and headed one of the benches. Issei sat down and took a water bottle and chugged it down in one go. Also he let some of the water drip to his clothes. Issei spoke, "Hey Dryag, question. What is it, partner?" Dryag asked, curious, also hoping something not perverted. "Well, is Zenobia and I are in a relationship?" Issei asked. Dryag was silent for a moment, then responded, "Well, that up to you, partner. I say would most consider it." Issei noticed Dryag take longer to responded when it comes to relationship. He knew Dryag never had love interest, which he didn't blame him. Issei spoke while he was cleaning his sweat with a towel, "Hey Dryag. You never had love interest?" Dryag was quiet for a moment and responded, "No, never did. I busy getting stronger." Issei began to chuckle a bit and spoke, "I don't blame you. Maybe I could hook you up with someone. You know I'm just a soul stuck in this gear." Dryag retorted. Issei spoke, trying to hold his laugh, "Well, maybe I get you an anime, probably you like some waifus." Dryag immediately spoke, "No. You know I'm not into that shit. You always watch some type horny stuff, and even worse when you watch with your friends." "Ha! Calm down, Dryag. I won't force you into that. Plus it seem I didn't had time to read manga or watch anime." Issei spoke, laughing. Dryag spoke, "Is because of Zenobia. She always tries get to your pants." Then Issei someone walking in, which was Ravel and Rias. Issei spoke, "Hey guys. Came to train?" Ravel seemed to be with a bright red face and shook her head sideways. Rias decided to respond, "No, we came here to talk to you." Issei seemed bit confused that two ladies came to him to talk him maybe something important, so he decided to hear them out. Issei spoke, "Sure, what is it?" Rias' face turns in shades of red and responded, "Well, you said you wanted to be harem king, as far I know. Yeah, it been for a while. I'm not in a rush. After all it happened." Issei spoke. Rias spoke, I'm in love with you." Rias was blushing deep red, and Issei was shocked to hear his teacher confess to him. Issei spoke in disbelief, "You're joking, aren't you?" Rias couldn't believe that Issei thinking it a joke and shouted with determination, "No. It not a joke. I really love you." Issei was frozen in place, also speechless. It took him a moment to return to the living. "Well, I say you are beautiful. I accept your feelings. I don't mind having a relationship with you." Issei spoke with a blush. Rias' eyes glowed with happiness and tears. She quickly ran up to Issei and hugged him tightly. "I'm the happiest woman alive." Rias spoke with a cherry voice. Ravel spoke with jealousy. Hey. Issei looked at Ravel, which Ravel started to fidgeting her fingers. Well. I like you, Issei. I hope you can accept my feelings. Ravel spoke with a blush. Issei spoke, I mean. I do accept your feelings. Before Issei could say anything else, Ravel ran up to Issei and hugged him. Issei felt Ravel's body was warmer than usual. Ravel was smiling, which caught Issei off guard. Issei spoke to his friend, Hey Dryag. Would I be able to keep these girls happy? Is all up to you, partner. Dryag responded. Then Issei, a voice in the distance, Issei. Issei looks in the distance, seeing Zenobia with a dark glare. For some reason he felt scared of her. Issei spoke, Hey Zenobia. Zenobia moves to Issei with a jealous look on her face. Then she looks at Ravel and Rossweiss. Ravel noticed and spoke, Don't you think you can keep Issei to yourself? Zenobia was shocked to hear Ravel that she knew Zenobia was as in a relationship. How did you? Zenobia spoke, but she interrupted by Rossweiss. Why not? Ever since couple days ago. We noticed your attitude changed with Issei. Also we could tell the way you looked at him with your eyes of lust. Rossweiss spoke as she began to hold Issei tighter. Fine. It won't hurt if we share with him. As long he give me some affection. Zenobia spoke with small blush. Issei spoke, trying to calm the girls from having a fight. It okay, girls. I love you all the same. All the three girls hugged Issei tightly with happy smiles on their faces. Issei spoke to himself. So this is to be harem king? In the distance it could be Ireina hiding behind a door. Ireina seems behold a doorknob on her hand. She had tears falling on her cheeks. She decided to leave to her room. After a few days later, Issei seems to be down mood while in class. The reason was Ireina was acting differently with him. She always leaves Issei when Zenobia, Ravel, or Rossweiss come by. Issei was started to speak with Dryag. Hey Dryag, know anything that Ireina act differently? No clue, partner. You'll have to talk to her about it. Dryag responded. Issei finished his talk with Dryag and decided later in the day to have with Ireina. After school, Issei went to court with Ireina to have a talk. Issei found Ireina by the school gate standing there alone. Issei spoke, Ireina. Got a minute to talk? Sure. Issei, aren't you supposed to be in your club? Ireina asked. Issei responded while scratched back of his head. Well, it been like week I haven't went back to the club room, but Gasper and Kiba is giving me updates. Ireina asked, What you want to talk about? Issei had a serious look and responded, Well, I'm worried about you. I had feeling you are not feeling joyful as before. I want to know what wrong. Feel it's personal and nothing for you to worry about. Ireina spoke though with a gloom face. Issei placed his on Ireina's shoulders and spoke, Please Ireina, tell me. Ireina's eyes began to water knowing Issei won't let the matter if it concern him. Issei hugged Ireina to his chest. Ireina spoke with tears, To be honest, I always liked you since childhood. I wasn't able to tell my confession because I'm an angel. Now you have 3 girlfriends, I'm scared that you won't accept me. Issei took Ireina's cheek to look at her eyes and spoke, You were always in my heart. You grew into wonderful girl. Angel or not, you still part of my heart. Ireina's face turned and beat red, then she laid her head Issei's neck and spoke, I'm happy right now. I want to be part your harem. Then let me prove to you. Issei spoke. Issei pulled Ireina in a which shocked Ireina, but she couldn't wait and ed back with passion. After a few minutes they pulled back for air. Ireina spoke while taking out a doorknob. Days ago I went to heaven to have a meeting with Michael. This doorknob was made for an angel like me to have a relationship in a room without falling. I would not need the doorknob yet until we need it. Issei spoke with a smile. Ireina smiled at Issei, knowing he don't need to rush things. She knows that Issei caring and understanding with the girls. Dryag spoke to Issei, It seems your harem is getting bigger. Glad for you, partner. Present day. Issei in the hallway walking to his classroom after say goodbye to his girlfriends. Then he get arms around his shoulders, which was Matsuda and Motohama. Matsuda spoke, What with those girls back there? Hee. Well, I guess good friends with me. Issei spoke nervously. Motohama spoke, Where was Rias and Aquino that you always hang out? Issei's face turned dark and responded, Let's say they are busy with the club. Matsuda asked, Since it been a while we watched some erotic movies together. How about we go tonight at my house? Issei was in conflict either to go or not. He wouldn't want to upset his girlfriends. It's true, haven't spent time with his friends, Issei responded, hoping at a good answer. Well, let me think about it. I hope I able to do today. Alright, let us know. It will be at 8:30 tonight. Matsuda spoke. They walked together talking about mostly anime. Once they are in the classroom and class began. Issei was bored most of the time. Drakina spoke. You know you haven't in trouble recently? Well, as you mention about it, I haven't, probably the things I went through. Now I have 4 girlfriends to take care of. I'll be faithful and honest with them. Issei spoke. Drakina started to make weeping sounds and spoke. Sniff, you are finally maturing. Sniff. Hey, calm down, Drakina. It not a big deal. I think is natural. I mean, every woman I meet I should be respectful with unless they mean harm. Including you, Drakina. If even you are a female, I would have treated you better. Issei spoke. Drakina spoke in disbelief. What the not with your imagination from anime? Issei was chuckling and spoke. Hee hee. Just joking, Drakina. Don't get serious. Okay, I thought you started get some fantasy of yours. Which you scared hell of me. Drakina spoke. Issei spoke, changing the subject. How strong am I? I say you can face middle class like devils, but you are getting stronger eventually. Drakina responded. Good. I shall beat my rival when the day comes. Issei spoke with determination. That the spirit. Drake spoke with pride. Which lunch came Issei outside sitting the tree with his 4 girlfriends. The girls were trying to feed Issei, which the girls would argue who feed him first. Issei spoke. Calm down, girls. Each one of you will take their turns. The girls seemed to be satisfied with the solution. Issei was smiling that his girlfriends were loving him. Drakina was in gear spoke. It great my partner is happy. When night fell, Issei was sleeping in his bed and his girlfriends were hugging him. Zenobia wasn't sleeping. She was staring at Issei's sleeping face. Her eyes were starting to glow red and spoke. My Issei. I won't forgive for you if you are going to leave me. Then Drakina spoke to Zenobia because he was started to get worried for Issei's companion, Zenobia. Zenobia looks at the circle glowing at Issei's left hand and spoke. Yes, Drakina? Drakina responded. I'm worried for you. Why? Zenobia asked. Well, your thoughts are getting darker by the day. I'm afraid that you'll hurt Issei or his girlfriends. I can't ignore this feeling. I think your love is becoming an obsession of Issei. Drakina spoke. Zenobia spoke, wanting to tear up. I never want to hurt my friends or my beloved one. I will never hurt them. Drakina spoke. Calm down, Zenobia. It's not late to control your emotions. One time my previous host had a harem, but one of his girlfriend went berserk. She killed her friends who were in relationship with my host. Once my host learned he was afraid of his girlfriend had done, so he had no other choice to kill himself, not wanting to deal the pain. I begged him to not to, but he didn't listen. After a few years I learned the girlfriend was murdered by others who want vengeance because of my host's death. Zenobia was quiet and started to think until she heard a sound from Issei's ear. Issei woke up wondering what was the noise until it on his ear. It had the Gemoroi circle. Issei answered the call, causing his girlfriends to wake up. Hello, President. Rias spoke. Issei, sorry to call you late at night. I have a mission for you, it needs be done. It's simple. Okay. Tell me. Issei spoke. I can't tell you right now. I need you to come at the club. I'll you brief what will be. Rias spoke. Issei hang up the call. AMD noticed his girlfriends were awake. Issei spoke. Sorry for waking you up. I'll have to go. Ireina spoke. Don't worry, she said, it's simple task. We'll wait for you. Issei smiled and gave each girl on their lips as if saying goodbye for a while. Issei spoke. I'll be back. With Issei left the house and headed to the old school building, Issei was wondering why so late. Maybe it could be important. After minutes of walking and once in front of the school building, he knocked the door for an answer. Come in. Rias spoke. Issei entered the building but decided to keep a distance from Rias, but noticed it was just him and Rias. Issei asked while looking around, where the others? They are already home by now. Rias responded with a smile on her face. Issei asked, what mission you have for me? Rias' smile turns into a grin and responded, I'll need you to defeat a low-class stray devil. Issei was shocked by the mission but asked, shouldn't you summon the peerage since it a serious matter? Why? My pawn who is the wielder of Dryad can't defeat a low-class stray who faced gods? Rias asked. Issei spoke. Fine. I faced worse enemies before. Rias pointed at the magic on the floor indicating where Issei should be. Issei went and stood on the magic circle. Rias began pour magic in the circle causing to light up. Rias spoke. I'll know when you are done. Issei looked at Rias but felt something off of her. Issei later was transported to a ruined city which he looked around. He noticed the sky was different. Issei spoke. Dryad? Issei hand glowed and Dryad spoke. I'm here, partner. Am I in the underworld? Issei asked. Dryad responded. Yeah, you are. Issei spoke. Let get over it. Issei spawned his gauntlet and noticed a stray devil in the distance, but the stray noticed Issei also. The stray devil began to charge at Issei at full speed. Issei got himself ready while boost a few times knowing it will end quickly. Once in close, Dryad shouted, Get back! Issei dodged the stray devil attack and punch at the stray face. Issei gave himself distance from the stray. Dryad spoke, that not a low-class stray devil but a mid-class. Issei shouted, Balance breaker! Issei surrounded himself in the red armor and took a stance at the stray. Issei spoke, I thought Rias said was low-class but mid-class. Something is off. Issei began to boost his power until he can face the stray, which both of them charge at each other. The stray had its claws out trying to kill Issei, but Issei started to dodge its attacks. Once close enough, Issei punches multiple times at the stray body until he fired a dragon shot at its chest, instantly killing the stray. Issei spoke while panting a bit. It wasn't that bad. Should Rias do the final blow instead of me? I don't know, partner, but things gotten worse. I sense multiple signatures coming at us at every direction. Drake spoke. Before Issei could say another word, he noticed dozens of stray devils surrounding him. Issei shout, Shit! I thought just one, now dozens? What the hell is Rias thinking, or maybe she didn't know. Bad news, partner, they are mid-class and low-class stray devils. Dryad spoke, worry for Issei. Issei spoke, I'll return home no matter what. Come at me, motherers! All the devils charged at Issei with claws, weapons and magic. Issei let out a war cry and charged who reached him first. Issei was boosting his power, summoning claws at his gauntlet, and started to stab the devils. Issei started to fight for his life no matter how he killed. More were coming at him. Every once a while he would shoot dragon shot causing large destruction and death. Issei wasn't able to escape all attacks. He would claws and magic shot at him. Issei shouted while striking Hugh's arm, Escalate! Escalate appeared and a stray devil was in front of Issei, which it got stabbed. Issei started to swing his sword at every direction. He decided to fly into the sky and fired a dragon shot on the ground causing destruction, but was attacked by other flying stray devils. Issei jumped a stray and began fall to the ground. Issei spoke, I must survive. Issei fell to the ground with a stray devil underneath him. Issei got out the crash and began to fight bare hands, breaking their bones and heads. After a few hours of fighting, Issei stood on top of a rumble and bodies everywhere. Issei was panting heavy. He noticed he was covered in dark blood from head to toe. Issei spoke, I'm tired, Dryad. Issei, hang in there. They're another signature devil. Dryad spoke. Issei looked around and saw a stray devil approaching him. The stray devil spoke, never thought you survived that. Dryad spoke to Issei, that a high-class stray devil, be careful. Maybe waiting for me to be on my knees. Issei spoke. Issei spoke to the stray devil, try me, stray. The stray devil grinned and flew at high speeds at Issei. Issei was barely to escape the attack of claws. Issei charged at the stray, but the stray dodged the attack and began to counter-attack. Issei began to throw punches with stray. The stray began to claw at Issei's body, causing to draw blood. The stray spoke, laughing, this fun. Ha ha. The pain excites me. Issei was able to get close to the stray devil and spoke, you won't stop me. Take this piece of shit. Issei kneed at the stray stomach, which the stray gasped for air and launched towards a building. Issei charged at the building and causing the building to collapse. Issei spoke, Rook. Issei armor changed in a bulky and heavy armor. He smashed at the stray to the ground. He flew back to gain distance. Issei shouted, this ends. Bishop. Blast. Issei launched 2 cannons out his back and fired red beam, which struck the stray into ashes. Dryad spoke, it over finally, partner, but quick. You really impressed me, partner. Your need for survival really helped you. Issei dropped to his knees tired and bleeding and spoke, finally I can meet my girlfriends. Then a red magic circle appeared which came out Rias. Rias took a look around the surrounding. Rias smiled and spoke, well done Issei. Lay down, I'll transport you home. Issei spoke while panting, Rias, you didn't told there was more. We'll talk about it later, my pawn. Listen what I tell you since I can't get close to you. Rias spoke. Issei laid on the ground waiting to return home. The magic circle glowed underneath him, but notice he wasn't getting transported but started to feel pain on his body. Rias spoke while an evil smile. I'm not transporting, but I'm making a clone like you. I was hoping you'd die in this mission. Issei looked angrily at Rias and spoke, You will. Arg. Say what now? Are you in pain? Rias spoke mockingly. Dryag spoke to Issei, we are getting weaker. I'm losing my powers, partner. This bitch will pay for hurting you, Dryag. Issei spoke. Issei never felt so much pain his life, he felt part of him was taken away. Issei Nazi'd a body forming next to him. Then after the ritual, Issei saw another version of him exactly like him. The clone stood up and approached Rias. The clone kneeled at Rias and spoke, I'm here, my king. Rias spoke, glad it worked. Kill that version. Rias was pointing at Issei. It will be done, my Rias. The clone spoke with a smile. Issei stood up but felt rage, depression, frustration, hatred and desperation. Issei spawned his gear, also the clone did also. The clone took his gear and began to boost his power several times. Dryag spoke, partner, the clone is stronger than you. Issei spoke in anger, I'll fight to my last breath. The clone charged Issei, but Issei was slow, which was knocked back for serviceable meters. Issei rolled on the ground in pain. The clone spoke, Ascalon. The clone approached Issei and the clone spoke, don't worry, I'll take care of the girls. Issei spoke, you won't. The clone stabbed Issei at his stomach and left Rias to do the finishing job. Rias approached Issei and spoke, this is goodbye. Before Rias could kill Issei, she noticed an energy wave coming at them, so she decided to leave with the clone with her. Issei laid on the ground bleeding out. Issei was looking at the dark sky and started to remember the times he spent with his friends, parents, and girlfriends. Issei seems to be smiling. Dryag spoke with sadness, don't die on me, partner. Get up. At least I died fighting, Dryag. Well, I'm the weakest host you ever had. Issei spoke. I promise I'm my next host. I'll personally hunt that bitch. Dryag spoke with anger. Issei spoke with blood coming out his mouth. I lost my emotion, power, and strength. I feel the negative emotions. At least we are fixed our friendship and have a relationship with the girls. Don't worry. I'll put you to rest when your soul eased. Dryag spoke sad tone. Then Dryag and Issei heard a voice. You are not dying today. Issei looked slowly at his eyes at the person, which was Ophus, looking at him with no emotions. Ophus spoke. I felt a disturbance in you. Now you dying, which I won't let it happen. Ophus was feeling uneasy seeing Issei wounded but didn't mind. Ophus let her power flow at Issei wounds. Issei wounds began to close rapidly. Ophus spoke, now you should be fine. Issei started to sit and looked at Ophus and spoke, why are you helping me? Ophus responded with an emotionless stare, you said that you'll show the world to me. You're right. What about the Chaos Brigade you made? Issei asked, wondering if she ever leave the brigade. Ophus responded, I can just leave and come back. Issei knew that Ophus is powerful, and she can do anything she wants. So he decided to not argue with her. Issei spoke with a small smile. Thanks for saving my life, though I was ready to accept death. Ophus' expression changed a very little. Her heart was pounding rapidly. Ophus asked herself, why do I have this feeling that I don't want Issei to die? Ophus spoke, I must go. Red Dragon. Don't die. Issei spoke, alright, I'll keep it in mind. Ophus left rapidly with her snakes. Apparently, she wanted to get away from Issei due to some feeling in her heart. Human world. Rias has returned to the human, then a thought why she had a feeling to run away. She knew someone with power was heading to Issei. As long the real Issei is dead, she wouldn't have a problem since she made a clone of him. Issei counterpart spoke, Rias, what you want me to do? Rias looks at Issei counterpart with a smile. You can go head back home, Issei. The clone started to approach Rias and gave Rias a passionate, I love you, Rias. I'll always keep you safe. The clone spoke with a smile. Rias smiled at the clone and spoke, I'll always wanted this you to love me. With that the clone left the old school building and headed home. During on his walk home he spoke to himself, I got my memories of my counterpart, and I wonder why he never loved her. It has nothing to do with me because I'm him. It seem I don't have Dryag's soul just his power. Either way this is better which I'll enjoy. Once the clone reached and headed his bedroom and noticed the girls were asleep. What intrigued him that the girls had tears in their eyes rolling on their faces. The clone sat on his bed and looked at the girls with a certain smile. He decided to sleep on the bed expecting the girls would hug him if they felt his presence, but surprisingly they didn't. The clone spoke to himself, it'll take a while to use to me. The girls were having a nightmare seeing Issei getting killed by a similar person to him. They yelling for him to fight but keep getting stabbed. Ireina yelled, Issei, please get up. I'll never leave you, Issei. Zenobia shouted, as the girls screamed out of their lungs and tried to save Issei, but they couldn't do anything. They could only watch the murder happen in their eyes. Back to Issei. Issei was roaming in the underworld. It'd been hours since his walk. He was hoping to find an ally that could help him. Issei spoke, why Ophus left me alone? I don't know, partner. She must have reasons why. Dryag spoke. As Issei continued to walk to an unknown direction, he was in the middle of dead forest. Also there was a heavy mist. As each minute passed by, some part Issei's mind was turning dark and Dryag was getting worried for his partner. After a good while being in the forest, Dryag decided to speak. Hey, partner. I don't know you can hear me. I sense devils in the area, also they aren't friendly. Issei counted walking like a zombie without responded to Dryag. The stray devils began to appear around Issei as a prey. One stray began to run up to Issei, but Issei spawned his gear and punched the stray, but Issei was weak. He had fight with every fiber of his being, killing one by one. After killing a few strays, Issei dropped to his knees. Dryag spoke, are you okay, partner? I can't go on. Issei responded, keep moving, partner, think for your girlfriends. Dryag spoke, trying to motivate his host. Issei spoke with despair, there is a clone of me. So it doesn't matter anymore, they wouldn't know the difference. Dryag spoke, rest for now, partner. I'll keep an eye out. Issei didn't want to rest, but since he used his boosted gear for a few times, his body started to give out until he fell into a deep sleep. In the human world, after a few days the clone was trying to have a bond with the harem, but Issei's harem seemed to be distant. So he decided to have a talk with one of the girls. He walked to the Kitahen and saw Ireina. The clone walked up to Ireina and spoke, hey Ireina. Why are you feeling down? Ireina looked at the clone and responded, I don't know why, Issei. Come here. The clone spoke with his open arms. Ireina walked to the clone and hugged him tightly, and Ireina began to tear up and spoke, I feel like you are not him, but you're here. It feels cold in my heart. As Ireina had her head on the clone's chest, the clone felt scared for a moment that if the girls knew the truth, they might kill him. The clone asked, what about the others? How they are feeling? Ireina responded as tears continued to fall on her cheeks, they are sad. We can't feel your warmth. What happened the night with Rias couple days ago? Well, she had me to do a contract which was simple. It was nothing more, nothing less. I don't know her motives. Clone responded. Ireina let of the hug and looked at Clone's eyes. She felt there was something dark, but she couldn't figure it out about, but she didn't want to question Issei. Ireina spoke. Well, I have things to do. Talk later. Ireina left the clone and went to do her thing. The clone was thinking how to capture the girl's heart. Then Rias appeared behind the clone. Rias hugged the clone from behind and spoke, how's my Issei is doing? The clone turned around and pulled Rias close to him. The clone responded, everything great, but the girls seem their mood are down. I see it will take time for them to get used to you. Rias spoke. As Rias and the clone were chatting, Ravel was heading to the kitchen but heard the clone voice talking to Rias. Ravel decided to look into it, and she couldn't believe what she was seeing. Seeing the clone hugging Rias as lovers, also the clone has no reaction being close to Rias. Ravel in a disparate situation, she immediately took her phone, took a small video of them with tears flowing down of her eyes. Before the duo could notice head, Ravel left the scene. Once Ravel was away from the two people and headed to her room and cried, feeling betrayed. Ravel grabs her phone and spoke me to herself. I'll need to share this. It the best for us. Ravel tapped the video and shared to the other girls. Ireina once got her message once being in her room watched the video, and her heart broke. Seeing the Issei she loved is going for Rias that once broke his heart, she couldn't understand why this has happened. Zenobia, who also watched it, was furious at Issei, thinking that Issei is playing with their feelings. Zenobia spawned her exabler and ran out to confront Issei. Rias, who was also hurt, sat on her bed and cried. As Zenobia reached to the kitchen area and saw the two people holding each other Zenobia shouted, Issei! How could you? The clone immediately looks at Zenobia and noticed her anger raised to the top. Zenobia immediately swung her sword at the clone. Zenobia yelled with tears coming out of her eyes, I loved you, Issei. Now you're going back to that bitch? Were you fooling with us? You're the worst. I shouldn't have fallen for you. I'll kill you. The clone started to dodge Zenobia attacks with fear. Rias had leave due to the chaoses get bigger. The clone was running out of options to dodge as Zenobia was destroying the house. Tables, chair, cabinet and utilities were being destroyed in half, the floor getting split. The clone was about to take out his boosted gear but was pinned by Zenobia kick. The clone had the Zenobia sword on his neck ready to cut his throat open. Zenobia had tears still coming down of her cheeks. Zenobia spoke, You bastard. Why? I should kill you. Then Rias, Ravel, and Ireina came downstairs to the commotion in the kitchen. Ireina spoke, Wait, Zenobia. Zenobia looks angrily with tears flowing down on her face at the group and she spoke, He fooled us. He decided to be with that bitch. Are you going to defend him? Ravel spoke next, No we're not, but instead of killing him, kick him out. Zenobia spoke, You're right. I should do it. The clone spoke, Wait, but Rias. Zenobia took the clone and threw him across the wall. Zenobia dragged the clone across the floor and threw him out of the window. Zenobia shouted, Never come back if you'd. I'll kill you. The clone could only get up and leave. Zenobia changed her mind. As for Rias, she also left discreetly. Zenobia dropped to her knees and wailed loudly as the girls were trying to comfort one of each other. Back to the underworld. Issei was roaming the lands for weeks. Dryag tried to speak with him but Issei remained quiet. Dryag could only sense of loss of Issei aura. Dryag spoke, Partner, are you mad with me? It my fault that I put you through, ain't it? Issei continued to walking in silence. He walked until he had found a stump and sat on it. Issei's appearance had the boosted gear armor on but some parts were getting like spikes growing out on his back. Issei looked at the forest in front of him. Dryag spoke, That the familiar forest. What if? Issei simply get up and walked to the forest in front of him. Dryag stood slyly hoping Issei would get his sanity back. Weeks before, Issei woke up after the battle with the strays. Issei sat up and looked around. Issei spoke, Dryag? I'm here, partner. Dryag responded. Issei asked, Where now? I don't know. I have no idea where we are. Dryag responded. Okay. Dryag, I have a question for you. Issei spoke. Dryag responded, Go ahead, partner. Issei stood up and asked, What if I start using the divine dividing gear? Dryag yelled in question, Are you joking? It will kill you. Issei spoke with wince, It's just a question. No need to get mad for using your rival power. Dryag shouted in anger this time, Mad? You made me angry for even suggesting that. One day we're friends, then quite and back together as friends, and now this. It the pride I have. My powers are unrivaled. Where your pride is a devil, a dragon. What would other dragon thinks? Issei was slyant and spoke softly, I get it. It seems your emotions are everywhere. Emotions? Emotions for the crybaby. Get a grip on yourself. I the Red Dragon Emperor don't cry. Dryag shouted even more. Issei simply kept quiet and started to walk. Present. Dryag was simply worried for his partner. As best friends they get in arguments but didn't expect to be this bad. Dryag spoke, I'm bad friend, ain't I? Issei was slyant walking like a zombie. Then he was walking down through a steep hill but then he trips on a rock and started rolling down. Issei was taking every hit without any care in the world. He stayed on the ground for a couple of minutes. Dryag spoke worried, Are you okay, partner? Issei stood up and responded in a monotone, Yes. Dryag seems to happy that his partner finally spoke. Dryag started to speak to get Issei motivated. But then Dryag went dead silent. Which Issei got high alert. Issei asked Dryag, "What going on?" "Run, partner!" Dryag shouted in fear. Before Issei could run, he felt a cold breath behind his back. Issei turns around and back off as far as possible. He saw a blue western dragon staring down at him. The dragon spoke with anger. "You decided to come back, bitch." Issei was scared and confused why the dragon called him a bitch. Dryag spoke to Issei, "You better run. She'll kill you." The dragon spoke, "You can't run away from me. If you do, you'll be hunted like a deer. Just accept your fate." Issei spoke to Dryag, "I won't run. I'll die as a man. Don't fight. You must live." Dryag shouted, hoping Issei would change his mind. Issei responded with anger, "There's nothing to lose. I'm already helpless." The dragon starts to approach Issei and spoke, "You're damn weak. You'll pay her debt thousands times over." Issei was confused. Who is her? Issei readied himself for a fight. Issei charged at the dragon, pulling back his fist and punch at the dragon face. The dragon looks at Issei with pity. Dragon spoke, "You're damn too weak." The dragon swung her tail at Issei and Issei was barely able to dodge. Then Issei was knocked towards the trees. Issei was getting up and charged at the dragon with boosted power, what remains of it. The dragon took the hit without care and struck back with her claws at Issei. Issei was trying his best to put a dent in his attacks. The fight was going for a couple of minutes as the dragon was getting tired of it. She decided to go all out. The dragon punched Issei, clawed him. She started to treat Issei as a rag dog. Dryag continued to shout to Issei to run. Issei wouldn't listen but continued to fight helplessly. The dragon launched Issei in the dragon. Then breath blew fire at the air. Issei felt his skin burning as if he was touching the hot stove. His skin. Thinking it was over, the dragon appeared on top of him, and she punches Issei towards a massive boulder. Issei hit the boulder, causing the rock to create a crater. Issei was feeling single pain on his body. The dragon charged at Issei at high speed. The dragon spoke, "Dryag is not a male, but a female named Drakina." Issei was in shock to hear Dryag is not male, but a female before he could think another second. The dragon smashed towards Issei, destroying the boulder into pieces, causing smoke to go everywhere. As the dust settled, the dragon stood victorious, knowing the host is dead. To her surprise, the host is still barely alive. Drakina shouted, "Stop! Tiamat!" Tiamat held herself back, waiting for the host's final breath. Issei was breathing slowly. Knowing he is dying, he decided to speak. Issei spoke, "I never knew you were a woman." Dryag. "I mean Drakina." Drakina spoke in her feminine voice with sobbing noises. "I couldn't reveal my true self for safety. I asked Tiamat for help to change my gender when I started to Albion. I was being harassed by him. I promised Tiamat to pay back, but in the end I died. Ever since Tiamat learned about it, she was looking ways to kill my hosts. When you became my host, I was disgusted what I saw in your memories. Then deep down you were caring, nice, and considerate for others. I started to have feelings for you, but I never said it because afraid what you'll say when you are a pervert. I love you." Issei. Issei had tears falling out his eyes and spoke, "Glad to meet you. If I knew you better, I would have treated you better." Tiamat interrupted and spoke, "This conversation is nice and all. It's time to die." Drakina shouted, "Kill him. I'll go with him." Tiamat was shocked to hear Drakina was willing to kill herself for a host was weakest of all emperors. Tiamat asked, "Why Drakina? Why you chose the weakest host to be your lover?" "I guess you didn't listen. I started to get these feelings when Issei decided to save Asia from the church. Even Issei wanted to protect Rias from Riser." Drakina spoke. Tiamat was about to speak, not wanting to kill a dragon. Then suddenly Tiamat was blown away by a powerful punch at her chest. Issei saw Ophus in front of him, ready to protect him. Issei spoke, "Ophus?" Ophus turns around and walked towards Issei's body and started to heal him with her snakes. Ophus spoke emotionless, "I said don't die." Tiamat was coming with pain in her chest and saw Ophus, which scared her so much, wanting to ask forgiveness. Tiamat spoke with pain, "What going Ophus?" Ophus faces at Tiamat, then snakes started to appear around her arms and responded, "You almost killed Issei, so I should to the same." Issei shouted the best as he can, "Wait! Ophus! Ophus stopped herself from attacking and looks at Issei and spoke, "You read red dragon." Issei struggled to sit, and but sat with pain all over his body. Ophia and Tiamat were looking at Issei. Issei spoke, to clear things up. Tiamat was angry with Drakina, saying she was never been repaid. Taking my life as payment. In a nutshell, Ophus looks at Tiamat, and Tiamat was scared senseless but also glad that Issei was able to clear up the mess before being killed by Ophus. Ophus spoke, putting her chin on her hand. "I see. I saw that Tiamat was to kill you, but you promised me to show me the world. I had to go in from happening." Issei was glad that Ophus came to his rescue but had questions. He also was very conflicted with Dryag, who was woman Drakina. Ophus noticed the Issei expression and spoke, "Drakina." "Yes, Ophus?" Drakania responded from the magic circle from Issei's hand. "It seems you told him your real self." "Why?" Ophus asked with curiosity. Drakina responded in a feminine voice, "I was afraid that Issei will die." Then Tiamat revealed the truth, then explained to Issei why I being a guy. I confessed my feelings to him despite Issei being a pervert. Ophus spoke, "I see. I don't understand what you mean." She looks dumbfounded. Drakina spoke, "I wish if possible to obtain a body to be with Issei." Issei was shocked to hear his Jost asking Ophus such a request. To Issei's surprise, things will turn. Ophus spoke, "Alright, a body you need. Then no body to build." Tiamat raises her hand and spoke, "I think have something for it base." Tiamat runs off, and then a couple of minutes later she comes back with red scaly skin. Ophus grabs the skin and inspects it. Ophus spoke, "This should do." Ophus makes a magic circle surrounding the skin and started glowing. Ophus spoke, "Red dragon, come here." Issei slowly get up and walk towards Ophus. Then Issei was knocked down by Ophus' slap. Issei was paralyzed on the ground. He was looking at the magic circle. Ophus spoke, "Summon your gear." Issei summoned his gear with difficulty. He started to lose his vision in blurry one. He saw a dragon-like spirit manifest to the red skin. He saw the skin was forming a body. Then he was completely knocked out. Issei woke up in the same spot and got up all healed from injuries. Ophus was simply staring at him. Ophus spoke, "Her request is finished." Issei looks at the naked woman body, laying it back on him. He saw red long hair which reminded him of Rias. Ophus spoke, "She asleep." Issei nodded at Ophus' statement. He decided to approach the body. He stayed away couple feet away. Then Issei heard a sound of woman waking up. The woman gets up and takes a look at her body. Issei noticed her voluptuous hips. Issei immediately looks away and embarrassed. Issei decided to speak in a nervous tone, "Drakina." Drakina turns around and looks at Issei. Drakina had a faker look ready to fight AMD. She had green eyes. Then Drakina smiles at Issei but also noticed Drakina's voluptuous chest and body. Drakina spoke her natural feminine voice, "Partner." Then Drakina jump on Issei, causes Issei to fall on his back. As Ophus and Tiamat watched, Issei had mixed emotions, either treat Drakina as a woman or as Dryag. Drakina presses her body against Issei. Drakina looks intensely at Issei. She places her hand on Issei's cheek. She spoke, "I finally can feel you. It makes me happy." Tiamat coughed slightly and spoke, "I know this happy moment, but we need to address matters at hand. For an example, Drakina need clothes." Drakina realized she was naked. She immediately gets off Issei and covered herself with her hands. Ophus summons a white dress on Drakina which show her voluptuous figure. Ophus spoke, "I'm going to rest for a moment." Ophus sit next to Issei as Tiamat sit next to Drakina. Drakina seems to be blushing looking at Issei. Issei figured that Drakina was holding back the whole time. At any minute he will be jump. Tiamat spoke, "Drakina, you said you love Issei?" Drakina responded, "Yes, as a dragon I won't lie, I love my partner." Drakina looks at Issei hoping he could return the feelings. Issei spoke, "I don't know what to think. All of this is going too fast." Dryag is Drakina. "That is a woman, it making me think all the time we talked. I need time to process." Drakina agreed that Issei need time to think to come in terms. Throughout the day Drakina would cling on Issei's arm as a sign of affection. Once night came, Issei was sleeping under a tree while looking at the full moon. Issei in his mind, how the other girls are doing. Will they find out the truth? As Issei was talking himself to sleep, He felt a warm body on him. He opened his eyes, which was Drakina on top of him. Issei spoke bit shocked. Dra. Drakina spoke with a saddened expression. I know, partner. You're confused thinking I'm a guy. I always love you. Please don't leave me alone. Issei slowly places his arm over Drakina's waist, still feeling awkward, still thinking it a guy. Drakina spoke tenderly. Let me see your face once again. Issei, knowing he can't resist a girl begging for him with such affection. He slowly disappeared his scary armor which he was wearing the whole time. Once he finally disappeared his armor, Drakina was finally see his face. His eyes were lifeless and cold. Drakina spoke, I'll help you regain your life. Sleep, partner, I'm here. Issei was falling asleep as Drakina was speaking tenderly to him. In the distance, Tiamat and Ophus were watching in the distance. Tiamat spoke, I never thought Drakina aka Dryag would have feelings for the weakest emperor. She once told me she despised men who wanted to use her powers. I also feel strange about him, like if I wanted to be next to him. What your thoughts, Ophus? Ophus stood watching blankly and responded, I don't understand what you mean having feelings. I only know that Red Dragon would show me the world. Tiamat spoke with a sigh. Yeah? They are very weak currently. I have questions for them how they ended up here? That a tomorrow thing, I'm going to sleep. Ophus continues to stand there, then suddenly clutches her chest as if she wanted to be in Drakina's place. She doesn't understand why she feeling awkward. As the morning rolls around, Issei was waking up with a heavier weight on him. He looks at Drakina, who was hugging his body. Then he saw another arm hugging on his another side. He looks at his side and the voluptuous blue-haired woman with a white cloth covering her body. The blue-haired woman woke up and looked at Issei. Issei was scared what the woman would do to him. The woman spoke, Morning, Issei. Issei was shocked to hear his Tiamat who tried to kill him yesterday. Here Tiamat hugging him as if it her property. Then Issei felt sudden movement on him. It was Ophus on top of him hugging him. She was also staring at him in the eyes. Issei spoke, Ophus? With his outburst woke up Drakina and looked at the direction which Issei was looking, which got her in surprise. Also Tiamat was also in shock. Tiamat asked in shock, How come you were on top of Issei? I didn't felt your presence. Ophus simply responded, I simply went on top him. Since you were hugging him, so I wonder what it felt like. It feels odd hugging a body. Issei knew that Ophus is always curious. He let her be for the moment. Tiamat and Drakina gets off of Issei. As Ophus stayed hugging him, Issei spoke, Ophus, I need to get up. Get up then. Ophus spoke. Issei get up and also Ophus hug him tighter. Drakina noticed that Ophus won't let go. Then Ophus wrapped her legs around Issei's waist as a possessive girlfriend. Drakina spoke, Ophus, you need to let go of Issei. Ophus just shook her head sideways. The three people were shocked, especially Issei. Ophus spoke, I like this. Issei noticed small grin on Ophus' face. He was wondering he come as attracting powerful identities. After an hour or so, Ophus let go of Issei. Now they chatting what do during the day. Issei explained his situation with Tiamat and Ophus. Tiamat spoke, Okay, now we're settled. Drakina and Issei are weak. After thinking a while, I decided you guys need physical training since most your magic is gone. Ophus will train with Drakina since she more experienced, and Issei with me. Issei could simply go with the flow. Once they started training, Issei spawned his boosted gear. Tiamat spoke, Do not use your gear, just your hands and body. Attack me when ready. Issei despawned his gear, then fold his hands and charge at Tiamat. Tiamat noticed Issei is slow, she just simply smack him in the face. Issei would fall to the ground. Tiamat spoke, Again you're my payment due as told. Issei would get up and charge again but failed to land to strike. As for Drakina was refining her skills as Ophus simply walk around dodging. As days turned to weeks and weeks to months. Now Drakina was faster than ever as Ophus continues to dodge without attacking. Ophus acknowledged that Drakina was getting stronger over time. As for Issei is another story. Issei wasn't fast, but his durability increased dramatically, but his strength was increasing slowly. Tiamat had to give credit to Issei, he hasn't gave up though not much change. Once Issei was close, Tiamat simply punched nonchalantly in his stomach which sent him back to the ground. Tiamat scoffed, still weak. Again. Issei get up with pain but had vigor on his face. He charged again, but Tiamat went on the offensive. Issei had to dodge and block the attack, but he blocked Tiamat attacks. His arms felt like breaking. Not long after he was sent back flying. Tiamat spoke, "That enough for today." Issei get up with but pain and followed Tiamat to the base. Ophus and Tiamat were discussing about their student's progress. Ophus simply said Drakina is getting better. As Tiamat was hoping Issei is getting stronger. When evening fell, the group was eating dinner. Drakina was hugging Issei's waist, not wanting Tiamat get closer to him. As Drakina knew that Tiamat started to have feelings for him, Tiamat spoke to Drakina, "Why are keeping Issei to yourself? Didn't your partner wanted to be a harem king?" "Well, I love him. He's my partner." Drakina spoke with a blush. Tiamat spoke with a smug, "Selfish are we? I wouldn't think any different as you." Before Drakina could say another sentence, she noticed Ophus sitting on Issei's lap. She can't nothing about it because Ophus is the strongest being par with Great Red. Ophus spoke out of nowhere, "I notice Red Dragon is into voluptuous women." Before Issei could speak, or at least deny, Ophus started to transform in front of him. Then after a few seconds Ophus transformed into a voluptuous woman, still wearing her same outfit, but it was exposing her large chest. Drakina jealously flared to the roof but started to hug Issei tighter. Issei was shocked to see such figure but rather do nothing. Ophus looks at Issei and spoke, "This should do." "Also I have something in mind." Issei asked nervously, "What is it?" Ophus responded, dead in Issei's eyes, "Training session in a dome." Issei felt like trick, but he blames himself for thinking otherwise. Ophus continues to speak, "A dome is so slow in time. That 1 hour in here is 1 year in the dome. You won't age at all, as if time stopped. I'll make a clone of original Drakina power to fight. You won't die." Issei started to think he's still weak, but he'll get stronger without magic. Issei spoke, "All right." Then Issei felt a large tail wrapping around his waist. Issei down, and see a large red tail which from Drakina. Issei noticed Drakina was being more possessive. Drakina spoke, "I don't want my partner to be gone no more than a second." Tiamat spoke, "Maybe a day won't hurt no one." Drakina calmed down, but that night she felt something off. Throughout the evening Drakina she was looking at Issei as the last person on earth. Then more morning sun rose upon the couple sleeping together. Issei woke up seeing his seed leaking from Drakina entrance. He remembered he has to train today, so he decided to get himself ready. He dressed himself up and walked back to the camp. Once reaching to the camp, Issei noticed Ophus was in front of him staring. Issei was having a trouble to keep his composure since Ophus had a voluptuous figure. Issei asked, "This there something on me?" "No. Time for your training." Ophus spoke. Ophus started to create a time dome, then it enveloped Issei. She added barriers around it to withstand the axe. Once finished, Issei was expecting like Drake would fight him, but his surprise was Ophus with him in the dome. Issei asked confused, "I thought I would fight a clone Drakina?" "No, it me you going to fight. In reality each minute outside is 1 day here." Ophus responded. Before Issei could say another word, Ophus went in front of Issei and flicked him. Issei was sent flying to the barrier. The impact was very strong, much worse with Tiamat. Issei had no choice but to attack, which Ophus would dodge effortless. Ophus would simply flick his forehead. In the real world, Ophus was simply staring at the dome waiting for the others to wake up. Drakina, when she woke up, she noticed was gone, decided to search her partner. It led her to the camp and saw Ophus staring at the dome. Drakina asked, "Where my partner?" "In the dome training." Ophus responded. Tiamat came out to meet up the group. They started to have a conversation to pass the time. Meanwhile, Issei was fighting for his life as Ophus was giving him a hard time. Issei was using his own hand to least land an attack. With each down, Issei would get up and try again. After his first day he worn out, but Ophus wouldn't let rest. So fought endlessly without sleep. 4 years later, inside of the dome, Issei was much faster and stronger. He was catching Ophus' speed, which was Ophus was giving him credit for it. Ophus had actually to defend herself. As time was running out, Issei decided to give a final throw. Issei charged at Ophus, which Ophus crossed her arms to block the attack. Then she was blown at the barrier for the first time, with the dome shattered. In the real world, Ophus simply looks at the dome. As Drakina and Tiamat watched in awe, the dome broke. Out of the dome, Issei walked out looking for Ophus but saw the real Ophus simply sitting waxing him come out. Ophus spoke, I didn't expect it. Drakina ran up to Issei and hugged him tightly. Issei hugged her back. Drakina spoke, I miss you, partner. Yes, same here. It been like 4 years in the dome. Issei spoke. Ophus spoke, now train with Tiamat. Tiamat stood up and spoke with a grin. Let's see how strong you are. Tiamat immediately attacked Issei. Issei pushed Drakina away and stopped Tiamat punch with one hand. Tiamat starting to throw several punches but Issei was dodging with ease. Then it was Issei's turn to attack. Tiamat was being thrown at every direction. Tiamat was unable to block the attacks since Issei was so fast. Then Issei had Tiamat pin at the tree with his hand on her neck. Tiamat seems to be drooling, being held at a choke point. Issei was shook seeing Tiamat's side. Tiamat spoke more. Issei back off and let Tiamat go. Tiamat dropped to the ground still with drool on her face. Ophus spoke, now you can reclaim your power that was stolen from you. I'll watch how it goes. During the day Issei and Drakina were getting ready to leave. Ophus was going to join them to see the outcome. Ophus was preparing a magic circle to transport to the human world. Issei spoke to Tiamat, thanks for letting us stay here for a while. Oh no problem, but... Tiamat spoke with a nervous blush. What is it? Issei asked, wondering what it could be. Tiamat responded with a blush, I want to come along with you. The time we spent together is so different. Now I don't want to be missing it. Issei responded, all right. There is no harm, ain't it? Tiamat had a big smile on her face, but there was always something on her mind. She'll get to it later. Now they're going to leave. Once everyone was in the magic circle, Drakina holds Issei's arm. Don't worry, partner. Everything will work out. Drakina spoke. Issei simply nodded at her statement. He took a deep breath and readied himself the next couple days. The magic circle engulfed them in a bright light. Issei took a look around the surroundings. He noticed they were in the woods and not far was his hometown. Ophus spoke, we're here. Thanks, Ophus, for bringing me back home. Issei spoke. Ophus just nods at Issei. Issei started to walk back to the town. He decided to take stroll around since it been months. Some people around were pointing out that Issei was walking with 3 beautiful women. Drakina was holding Issei's arm, not wanting other girls get close to him. As Ophus was had a feelings of wanting each time that Issei is with Drakina. In Issei home, Zenobia, Ireina, Rias, and Rias were together in the living room. No of them were doing anything, and also they were depressed for months. Rias spoke, if Issei never done, don't mention his name. Zenobia shouted with anger. Zenobia continued to speak, please don't say his name. It hurts. If I didn't get any feelings, I wouldn't be like this. As Ireina would look at a photo of her and Issei together when they were children. Ireina was questioning why Issei she loved turned like this. Would her dream would come true? Then suddenly there was knock on the door. The group was wondering who could it be because Issei's parents are out of town. Unless it could be the leaders of the Betrayal factions. Rias spoke, I'm coming. Rias went to open the door, to her shock to see someone familiar. Rias spoke in disbelief, Issei? Issei responded with a nervous look, hi Rias. Rias noticed 3 different women behind him, and they were beautiful. Rias' expression turned into sadness. Issei was troubled to see one of his lover crying. Before Issei could comfort Rias, someone spoke. Who there, Rias? Zenobia spoke. Zenobia came to the door to see Rias crying, then she looks who was on the front door, which was Issei. Her expression turned to a small smile, then turned into anger. Zenobia shouted with hate, why you came back, you bastard? As she started to take out Durandal, Issei responded, please. Issei was interrupted that Zenobia charged at him with the intent to kill him, then she shouted, no, please me. I'll kill you. Issei dodged the attack as Ophus, Tiamat and Drakina step aside. Zenobia continued to shout, you betrayed my love. You came back to flaunt your new harem? Issei grabbed Zenovia's sword once, shrieked again, and he spoke, there's so much I want to say. How much I miss you and the girls. Zenobia being stubborn, conscious to attack as Ireina and Rias watched. Issei continues to dodge and hold Zenovia's sword. Months ago I went on the mission with Rias. It was trapped she set up for me. She let me fight hordes of strays. Issei spoke as he deflected the attack. Zenobia shouted, lies, lies. Issei continues to speak. After defeating the horde, I was injured that when Rias appeared. She stated that she didn't expect the outcome. In order to heal, she ordered to lie down that when everything went downhill. She started to create a clone of myself which drained my power and Dryag. Shut up! Zenobia shouted with tears. Then she ordered the clone to kill me. So the clone stabbed me. I was verge of death that when Ophus came to help. Issei spoke while holding Zenovia's sword. Zenobia shouted once again, I wish I didn't met you. Why the hell I would come back? Issei shouted. Zenobia stood frozen seeing the first Issei yelled at her. She saw Issei, tears began to form on his eyes. Issei spoke, I came back because I miss you all. I was wanting to came back in your arms. Your warmth. Your love. Your affection. I was afraid the clone would take my place. That you wouldn't notice the changes. Issei let go the sword and spoke, I don't blame you for thinking that way. I hope you can find love you truly deserve. Issei turns around and started to walk away. Ireina, Ravel, Rasweiss, and Zenobia watched Issei leaving. There was a sudden switch in them not wanting him to leave as if seeing a different person in him, the actual emotions of Issei. Then Issei felt multiple arms around his waist. He see the girls hugging him tightly. Zenobia spoke in tears, don't leave yet. This version feels different. It feels you are him. Please stay. Ireina cried. Ravel spoke in tears, if you leave I don't know how to handle it. Rasweiss spoke in tears, no more pain please. Issei stood silent and turns to the girls. Issei spoke, so let me explain the whole story till today. Once after the girls were able to calm down. Everyone was inside the living room. The girls were looking Ophus, Drakina, and Tiamat for what reason they were with Issei. Drakina wasn't holding Issei anymore until Issei revealed to them about their odd relationship. Issei spoke, alright, let me start what happened. After I was saved by Ophus, who is next to me, the girls' faces turns into shock and terror knowing that Ophus is the most powerful being in the world. Also Ophus was very different back then in appearance. Ophus spoke, let Issei explain. So they look at Issei to continue. Issei continues speaking. I wander off hoping to get back home. For a while I was at Tiamat territory. Which I was almost killed. Then she revealed that Dryag is a female not a male, also known Drakina. I was shocked to the core. Then I was saved by Ophus once again. Drakina confessed her feelings to me. Once the matter was settled, Ophus made a body for Drakina which was successful. During the time was in Tiamat territory, Drakina and I trained to regain our strength enough to regain power was stolen. That a short version story. Rasweiss spoke, where is Dryag or Drakina? Drakina responded Rasweiss' question, I'm her Dryag. Issei was my host and partner. Ireina, Ravel, Zenobia, and Rasweiss look at Drakina in shock. To see her in flesh, as far they know they only heard it voice as a male. Also they were shocked to see how stacked his Drakina is. Ravel spoke in shock, wait, you're the Red Dragon Emperor, also known as a Pay Dragon? Drakina smiled and responded yes. The nickname struck a nerve. Though everyone thought I was a male, I'm actually female who hid my gender for reason because of Albion. When I was first called as a Pay Dragon I was very embarrassed, so I faked by depression. Once I revealed to my partner I was okay to be called a Pay Dragon by Issei. Also I took his virginity. She finished with a big blush. Everyone fell in silence, and Issei was nervous what the girls would react. Maybe it was a bad idea to be reveal it. Zenobia was the first one to speak since she more emotionally unstable. Hee what did you say, Drake? Drakina noticed the situation will be very bad. Zenobia stood up and took out her Durandal. Zenobia started to speak, come here bitch. Before Zenobia could attack, Ireina, Ravel, and Rasweiss grabbed Zenobia back. Zenobia started to shout at trying to unleash, bitch. Let me kill you. You took my Issei virginity. It should been me. Ireina shouted her best friend. Zenobia calmed down. It done is done. Issei spoke, girls let Zenobia go. I'll take it. The girls let go Zenobia still with anger. Issei started to approach Zenobia in front of her. Issei spoke, go ahead Zenobia. Finish our pain that I started. As Issei lifted Durandal pointing at his abdomen, Zenobia looks perplexed and looks at Issei. Issei had his hollow eyes as if wanting to end the psychological pain. Come on, Zenobia. End it. Issei spoke, trying to encourage Zenobia to do it. Zenobia spoke with angry tears. Why? Issei. We are broken. My love. I can't. Zenobia drops her Durandal to floor. Then Zenobia hugged Issei tightly. Zenobia cried in tears minutes on end. Issei felt he'll always the burden of guilt of cheating. Issei spoke to himself, I'm a really bad boyfriend. So the entire day Issei was trying to reconnect to his lover, asking forgiveness. It seems the girls are getting recovered. As for Ophus and Tiamat watched the wholesome moment. Tiamat spoke softly to herself while she took hold of her chest. Mine. Ophus looks at Tiamat with her corner of her eyes. Then she looks back at the group. Ophus spoke to herself, I wonder why I want to be in the group. In the club room midnight, Rias was pacing back and forth with her rest of her peerage. Kaneko, Asia, Kiba, Aquino, and Gasper including the clone were waiting Rias' orders. Kaneko was staring at the clone ever since because she couldn't sense the life essence, like if he's dead. Kiba noticed Kaneko's reaction with Issei but couldn't shake off the feeling of Issei. Then someone walked through the front doors. The person walking in was no other than Vala. Vala walked past the group and headed towards Rias. Rias spoke with a smile, I've been waiting for you. Kiba and Gasper got themselves ready to fight, also they were confused why Issei isn't reacting at all, which sent so many red flags in the group. Vala looks at the clone and spoke, Are you the real Issei? The clone responded, Yes. The time you put me through, I'm grateful for that. I've forgiven you and the peerage. Kiba spoke, Wait, Issei. I thought you always have reaction with the women. Months ago you went 180 switch. Especially with Vala. Albion spoke out loud, I don't sense my rival in Issei. Now everyone looks at the clone as Kiba has his sword drawn out. The clone has a grin on his face and spoke, that because. Then Kiba has his sword on the clone's neck. Kiba shouted, Where is the real Issei? The clone looks at Kiba and responded, Ask your master. The group looks at Rias for answers. Rias sighed and spoke with an evil smile, I'm cornered, so I basically made a copy of Issei, the real one is dead. Everyone was shocked to see their master was evil. Kiba immediately charged at Rias, but the clone stopped him his tracks and launched Kiba back. Kiba shouted, You're evil, Rias! You killed my best friend. Everyone will know what you done. Rias spoke with an evil grin, I'm already a step ahead. Behind Rias there was stray devils are being summoned. Rias made a magic circle and blasted the building with her destruction power. Asia, Kaneko, Aquino, Kiba and Gasper were blown away from the blasted, sustaining injuries. After the dust settled, the group saw more stray were being summoned. Kiba called other girls in Issei harem. In Issei room, Issei was surrounded by women, Rosweiss, Ravel, Ireina, Zenobia, Drakina, Tiamat and Ophus. Ophus was awake looking at a certain direction. Ophus began to poke Issei to get him awake. Issei was trying to sleep but had to wake up. Issei opened his eyes and saw Ophus on top of him. Issei asked, Ophus? Ophus responded blankly, I sense a battle not far from here. Issei asked, Why a battle? I just came back. Ophus spoke, I sense devils. Issei was wanting to sleep but to get up since it could endanger his town. The girls were waking from the change of weight. Drakina spoke, Where are you going, pardon? Issei responded, Ophus said there a battle in this town. I'm going to stop it. Ophus spoke once again, There are fallen angels and angels heading to the battle. Everyone was getting up in a hurry since it requires the biblical factions to be involved. Ophus spoke, I'll teleport you all to the fight. Issei mumbled to himself, as soon I return less than a day they're big involved. Everyone was dressed and Ophus made a magic circle and teleport everyone close to the battle. Once upon destination, every girl was holding Issei, not wanting him to leave. Issei spoke, Let go find out. Everyone ran to the battle and noticed the blocks were in a large barrier. There was Azazel, Michael, Serzerx leading the attacks. In the middle there was thousands of strays coming from the magic circle. Issei ran up to the leaders and shouted, Hey, what going on? The leaders looked at him in shock. Azazel went down to meet with his student. Azazel asked in shock, Is this the real Issei? Issei nodded at Azazel and asked, What going on? Azazel looks at the battlefield as bodies were being littered everywhere. Azazel responded, Apparently Rias, Valley, and the copy of you are flooding the town with strays. This was a surprise attack, but luckily Kiba gave us a distress call. They are injured but save. Issei spoke as he spawned his gear. Let end it. Everyone charge at the battle as Issei in front. Ireina, Zenobia, Rosweiss, and Ravel took to the sky. Issei started to kill the strays with his bare hands, snapping their necks. Tiamat was slaughtered the strays, but more kept coming. Drakina was kicking and punching, creating holes in their bodies. Issei was busy snapping a large stray, then he punched on his face by his copy. He didn't expect the clone who get close to him. As Vala was fighting the angels, devils and fallen angels in his balance breaker, he noticed that Albion was shouting. Albion shouts, "It her. It really her." Drakina, Vala spoke, "What are you talking about, Albion? That woman is supposed to be my mate." Albion shouted. Vala looks around and saw a red-haired woman with fierce eyes. Drakina noticed her rival was looking at her. Drakina spoke in venom, "Albion." Vala charged at Drakina, which Drakina dodged, then counter-attack with the uppercut. Vala stumbled back for a couple of feet. Vala spoke, "You're Drakina that Albion was shouting about. The truth is I'm known as Dryag, which I fooled Albion to leave me alone. You think I'll be your mate, but I have Issei as my mate." Drakina spoke. Albion exploded in anger and spoke, "I'll kill Issei. You won't stop me." Vala and Drakina charged at each other, and to throw kicks and punches. Drakina was blocking the attack, but she felt her strength is getting weaker. Albion spoke, "Divide. Divide. Divide." Drakina enhanced her strength by doubled it, but she can use a certain amount until she exhausted herself. Drakina launched herself and kicks Vala upper body, which sends Vala fly back. Vala gets up with a grin on his face and spoke, "This is getting better, no less fighting the Rio Red Dragon Emperor." Vala charged once again, but then gets slammed to the ground with brute force. Which was Tiamat, who tossed Vala through the ground. Vala gets up once again with a smirk and spoke, 2 versus 1. "This is interesting." Tiamat spoke, "I won't let you get close to Drakina." Albion shouted, "Tiamat! Get out of my way! I'll kill you with my host." A moment later Vala was slammed by a body from above, which was the clone who was thrown by Issei punch. Issei was looking at Vala and the clone with visible anger on his face. Issei landed next to Drakina and Tiamat. Issei asked, "You girls are okay?" Drakina responded with a smile, "We're okay. It's time to take back what ours." Issei noticed Drakina's power-hungry face. Issei was a bit nervous that Drakina would fight anyone. The clone and Vala gets up. Albion began to scold Vala, "This is the 3rd time you get thrown through the ground. Where is your power?" Vala spoke, "I'm just warm-up time to get serious." Rias on the other has to deal with Issei Harem, who are trying to kill her. Issei spoke to himself, "Damn, we won't last long if Vala starts dividing." Then a voice came out of Issei's mind, "Use my power then." Issei spoke, "You are Albion, old host?" "Yes," I said, "we'll talk later. Since you got stronger, there are no repercussions using divine dividing, but be mindful how to balance between boosting or dividing. If you divide or boost yourself too much, it'll reset." The host spoke. Issei got himself in his balance breaker full armor. Issei spoke, "Let's do this. I'll deal with Vala. You two deal with the clone." Then the two groups began to charge at each other. Vala was heading for Drakina, but Issei beat him by speed. Issei gives an uppercut to Vala and began to dividing. Issei Gear spoke, "Divide. Divide. Divide." Vala was getting weak, nevertheless he still get up and charge again. Issei switch gear, "Boost. Boost. Boost." Then the two collided with their face headbutt. The two began to throw punches. Vala noticed how strong Issei has gotten over months. To his surprise he was thrown like rag dog. Vala could defend himself. Vala shouted, "Half dimension." Issei noticed the attack. He began to boost himself a few times. He immediately grabbed Vala and took out Ascalon. Albion shouted, "Dodge." Vala was able to escape, but not without an injury. Which Vala left arm was stabbed. Vala shouted in pain. Albion spoke angrily, "Issei Hayadu, you took my mate." Issei looks at Vala and spoke, "Albion. You can have what already taken. Drakina is the person I love." Issei confessed his feelings to the world to hear. Drakina was shocked with happiness that Issei finally confessed to her, as he did with Rias. Issei continues speaking loudly, not only that. I also love Ireina, Zenobia, Ravel, and Rosweiss. Albion spoke with hate, then I'll end your harem as I did with the last one. Issei charged at Vala as Vala quickly moved out of the way. Then Issei was fast another to catch up and slammed Vala to the ground. Drakina and Tiamat were taking the clone as a punching bag. The clone was boosting as much he can. After multiple tossing, Drakina landed a punch in the clone abdomen which sent flying near Vala. Issei grabbed Vala and the clone and threw them in the air. Issei shouted, "Dragon shot!" Issei shot a blast at the two people flying back. Drakina and Tiamat approach Issei. Tiamat spoke, "The battle is ending." Issei looks around, seeing the biblical faction's army is winning the battle. He also saw his harem continue to fight Rias and her strays. Issei looks at the leaders who were also helping in the battle. Vala and the clone appeared in front of Issei in a distance. Vala shouted, "You really think you can win with just the powers you have?" Issei looks directly at them and spoke, "Alright, let me tell you something. We'll fight hand to hand. No one around to bother us. I'll break you two in half like a twig." Issei drops his armor to his base as Vala and the clone did the same. The two charge each other. Issei threw his first punch at the clone. Then get hit by Vala in his abdomen. Then Issei kicks Vala back. Issei started to do a combo move on the clone. Then Vala would punch Issei on his face. Issei had to back off. He began to dodge their punches and kicks until he countered it. Issei was manhandling the two like nothing. He kept on minutes of punches. Issei would slam them to the ground or at a structural point, until they have couple bones broken. Vala was struggling to fight since Issei's bare strength is too much to handle. Issei takes out Ascalon. Issei spoke, "This is battle, you looking for this, how you get." Vala spawned his gear, "Divide. Divide." Issei gear goes, "Divide. Divide." Issei spoke, "Not tough are you?" Vala stood with pain and spoke, "I am. If I go down I'll take many with me." Issei eyes widen knowing that Vala will go in his juggernaut drive. Vala began to his incarnation but Issei won't have it. Issei charged at Vala but get blocked, the clone regain its strength. Vala transformed his gear into a dragon. Vala roared and blasted Issei with a beam. Issei had to take the hit. Everyone watched in fear see the most powerful form of Vala. Drakina shouted, "Partner," but Ophus, who was watching in the distance, she had a grin on her face. Cersei was about to attack Vala. In the dust, Issei was walking out as if unharmed. Once the dust settled, everyone were terrified. Issei walked out the blast zone and his armor seemed broken. His eyes, covered by his helmet, had bright green eyes. His mouth was sharp teeth, his hands with claws. His back and tail had sharp spikes. Issei looks at Vala, then looks at the clone, then finally at Rias. Issei started to laugh maniacally and spoke, "This is the real me. Hee hee." Issei charged at Vala as started to ready to blast at Issei. Issei was able to get close and clawed at its face. The next minute was brutal to their eyes. Issei began to claw, bite and slammed the dragon while laughing. Vala was troubled to keep up, then decided to go in his balance breaker. Once he did that, Issei jumped on Vala to claw his face. Vala starts to fight for his life. Issei spoke, "Let me see your desperate face." Then the clone jumped in, but Issei noticed but slightly turned his head at him with the evil smile. The clone saw the kill intent. Issei spoke, "I'm the version of you been holding back." Issei took the clone from the midair and slammed the clone to the ground. Vala comes in to start to divide Issei's strength. Issei started to divide and boosting at the same time. Meanwhile, Rias watched in horror. The real Issei had a dark side. The anger, anguish, and hate is showing the world to see. Issei took out again Ascalon and stabbed Vala at his chest with a smile. Vala looks at Issei with a grin. Vala takes out a small blade and stabbed Issei's side. Issei backed off and started to feel the effects. Vala spoke with a smile. The blade contained the Samuel poison for dragons. With his final words, Vala's eyes went lifeless. Albion was laughing. Albion spoke, "I'll come back." Issei's eyes start to feel heavy but had to deal with the clone. Issei turns to the clone and rushed him. The clone was regaining his strength but was slammed again to the ground. Issei blasted his dragon shot, erasing him from the existence. Everyone was stood silent, including the strays watched in horror. Issei was standing motionless. Issei pulled back his arms, still wanting to fight as he looked at Rias. Rias flew towards Issei and stopped in front of him. As Zenobia, Ravel, Ireina and Rosweiss were wanting to kill Rias, Rias spoke with tears. Issei. My love. Issei spoke, I'm not your love. Everything we had is nothing to me. Rias spoke with bangs covering her eyes. Then if I can have you, no one will. The next moment Rias takes a blade out her sleeves and stabbed Issei's chest. Issei weak-kneed couldn't fight. Issei drops to his knees. Issei spoke to himself, I just come back stronger to just get killed by my ex-crush. I'm still the same stupid Issei. As Ophus didn't expect Issei to get killed easily, but there was other factors in place. In the first, she felt guilt as bangs covered her eyes. Ophus' eyes began to water into tears. Ophus spoke, no. 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 No! Ophus yelled out in anguish as everyone watched as Ophus roared to the sky. Ophus began to rage across the battlefield, killing everyone in its path. The girls, seeing their Issei dead with rage, starts attacking the strays wanting to kill Rias. As Xerxes, Azazel, and Michael had to retreat their army from the enraged dragon. Ophus continues to blast her dark beam from her mouth at the strays. Rias watches the chaos around her, then suddenly she gets attacked by Zenobia. Zenobia shouted in tears, You bitch! You killed my Issei! As soon he returned to us, you took him away. Then Rias tries to blast Zenobia away, but Rosweiss comes with a magical barrier. Rosweiss also tries to kill Rias. Then Ireina, Ravel, Tiamat and Drakina. Rias was getting overwhelmed very quickly. Then from above Ophus comes down. Rias just accepts her fate. Then she gets stabbed at every direction. Then Ophus blasted Rias from existence, causing a shock wave. Once the shock was settled, Ophus was standing in tears. Then she walked to Issei's body. The girls also followed in tears. Ophus picked Issei's head up close to her. Ophus spoke in tears, You said you would show me the world. You showed me how to feel. I love you. Ophus covered Issei with black aura and started to repair his body as his soul started to fade. Ophus spoke, I won't let you die. Meanwhile Issei was in the dimension gap, saw Great Red staring at him. Great Red spoke, You caught my interest Issei Hayadu. Oh well, I'm dead. I guess this is goodbye. Issei spoke. Red spoke with a chuckle, No, technically you're dead, but your soul isn't gone yet. I saw how Ophus learned from you emotions, though not much. Your death caused her to react since Ophus started to have a bond with you. Issei felt his body was heavy, then he went to sleep. Great Red watches Issei return to the world of the living. Red spoke, There are more dangers in the world you need face. Issei started to wake up and noticed he was in his room. He felt that everything was a dream. Then he felt the weight on him. He looked around and saw Drakina, Ireina, Tiamat, Ravel, Rosweiss, Zenobia, and Ophus hugging him. Issei spoke to himself, I'm still alive. Is because you made me a promise. Ophus spoke while looking at him. Issei spoke softly, Oh. Glad to be back. Ophus started to hug Issei tighter and spoke, I'm still learning from you and others. You finally wake up. Drakina spoke with a smile. Then the girls began to wake in a quick succession. The girls began to ask if he's okay. Issei spoke, Calm down, girls. I'm alive. Tell me what happened afterwards. Ireina spoke, Well, after the fight Rias is dead. They closed off the streets through the battle. Kiba, Gasper, Aquino, Kaneko and Asia are away for medical treatment. We learned Aquino, Kaneko, and Asia are in mental facility for treatment. The person who took hard is Asia. Issei spoke, Glad they are okay, though it was hard on me and them. Ravel spoke, The biblical factions are investigating the battle. Since the battle lasted for a while. Xerxes is mourning for his sister. Basically is a mess trying to piece things together. Rosweiss spoke, For now relax and regain your strength. Issei nodded, but he started to get poke on his side, which was Drakina with a pout face. Drakina spoke, You used my rival power. I don't blame you. You are stupid dying to a minor battle. Issei spoke, I know I'm still the old me. Everyone was enjoying the sliant hugging Issei. Issei didn't move, then embraced the women around him. After a few hours everyone was lively around the mansion. Issei was simply relaxing on the couch as the women come to cuddle with him. A few weeks later Issei was on a date with his harem including Tiamat. During the weeks Issei had meetings with the faction's leaders to clear up the situation. Issei took his girlfriends to a luxurious restaurant. Since he was prepared in advance, he only to show up. Issei walked in front of the receptionist. The receptionist spoke. "Hello? How I can help you?" Issei responded. "I have reservation for Hayato." The receptionist looks up in her touch screen, and once the receptionist found the reservation, the receptionist spoke. "Alright, at ready, party for 9. Issei spoke. "Alright." Issei motioned the group behind him to follow him. A server came, took them to their seats. As they were heading to their seats, many guests watched beautiful women following Issei. They had expensive jewelry and clothes. Many wonder how Issei was able to gather so many beautiful women. Once sat down, Ravel sat next to Issei as Rias on his other side. Ireina looked around and spoke with a smile. "You took us out to this fancy restaurant. Is it too much?" Issei responded. "Not really, since I have investors to my show. Ravel managed my earnings. I do this for you all because I love you all." The girls giggled a bit, everyone had their smiles. Ophus looks at her jewelry with interest. Drakina feels a bit embarrassed wearing expensive outfits. Everyone looks at their menu and everyone ordered their food. Ophus had trouble ordering, but Issei encouraged her to order she liked, so she basically ordered the whole menu. Issei could only smile knowing Ophus is still learning the human ways. Once their food came, everyone was enjoying their meal. Everyone else outside saw the lively atmosphere. They figured it has to do with Issei. Once their meal was over, Zenobia ordered a massive ice cream with flavors. Once they brought and it covered 1/4 of the table. Zenobia takes the spoon and take a spoonful of ice cream. Zenobia walks towards Issei. Zenobia spoke, opened wide. Issei looks at Zenobia and her posture started to arouse him, but had complied, then he had brain freeze. The girls look at Zenobia with jealousy. So they jumped in to feed Issei. Issei was troubled to calm down the girls. Once leaving the restaurant, every girl was clinging on Issei. They were chatting away how the date went. They went on a stroll through town. Every few minutes Issei would hold a different girl hand. Great Red sees Issei entertainment. Red spoke. "Well, good luck, Issei Hayato." Red continues to fly around the dimension gap. Several months passed by. Issei was in the underworld in a meeting. Issei walked in the meeting room in his balance breaker. Issei spoke. "Hello, it's been a while, Serzux, Michael, Azazel." Serzux looks at Issei and spoke. "Thanks for coming, Issei. Though our friendship is not very courteous, I'm sorry for your sister. It must have been hard, specialty for a Mao." Issei spoke. Serzux spoke. "I've been better for the moment. The reason you're here. Our agents noticed the movements of Chaos Brigade. They'd been silent for a while. Ophus was gone." Michael stood up and spoke. "Since Vala is dead, it's been difficult for them to make a move. We decided to ask you to find out who is the leader. The hero faction is on the move." Issei spoke. "Well, it could be the old Satans. That Ophus told me." Serzux spoke. "Interesting. I'll let Odin know. We were wanting to have Shinto faction to join our cause. They rather be left alone." Issei spoke. "Sorry to interrupt, but Shinto faction rather not to get involved. They said it's your problem to solve." Serzux was stunned to speak but spoke otherwise. "Well, the Shinto has the courage to talk to a leader like that." Issei spoke. "Well, I'll help where I can. Nice meeting you all." Issei started to walk away as the leaders continued their meeting. Issei was outside the city and started to take a view at its surroundings. Issei sat on a rock looking at the sky. Then he dispelled his armor. Issei spoke. "There's always a little peace in this world." The voice spoke in his head. "Yes, but the silence means a storm before disaster." In his hand was blue gem glowing. Issei looks at the sky. Then Issei felt chills runs down on his spine. Issei looks behind of him, and it shocked him. In the small distance he saw Akino, Asia, Kaneko. Issei immediately turned to his balance breaker. Issei spoke in shocked. "How did you?" Akino spoke. "We just escaped in search for you." "Why you are looking for me?" Issei asked. Akino started to giggle and responded with an evil smile. "Is because we missed you. We realize you loved us. The more we think about it, the more unfair you to get a new harem. Though you killed Rias, we still love you." Issei spoke as he balled his fists. "You girls are just insane. The day you slept with Val, I forget that you were in my heart. Why don't you look for him?" "I guess not, because I killed him?" As Issei mocked a bit. Akino grit her teeth and spoke, "You're only one I love. Remember, we'll come back for you." Akino made a magic circle and left with her group. Issei stood there bit shocked. The host spoke, "This is unexpected." "Yeah. Time to go home." Issei spoke. Issei made a magic circle and left. He reached in front of his mansion. He took a breath. Issei opened the door and entered. Drakina was first to greet him. "Hey partner, welcome home." Drakina runs up to Issei and hugged him tightly, then she gives him a passionate. Issei spoke with a smile, "Hey Drakina. How our child is doing?" Drakina had a pregnant belly waiting to be born. Drakina had a happy smile. Drakina responded, "Well, he's been kicking a lot lately. Can't wait to meet his daddy." Issei spoke, "Careful now. I don't want anything go wrong for our firstborn." Issei walked to the living along with Drakina, where the rest of him Tiamat, Ireina, Ravel, Rias, Zenobia, and Tiamat were resting on the sofas due to their pregnancies. They all looked at Issei with happy expression. They spoke with a smile, "Welcome home, Issei." Issei goes to each girl and gives a. Issei was making sure his harem would be okay. Issei asked, "Where is Ophus?" "I'm coming, Issei." Ophus as she walks down the stairs. Ophus has happy smile on her face. She ran to Issei and hugged. Ophus spoke, "I have something to show you." "What is it?" Issei asked, curious. Ophus take out like a pen and show to Issei. Issei immediately knew what it was pregnancy test. Issei looks at it, and he had a smile on his face. Ophus spoke nervously, "I'm pregnant. I'm happy to have a child with you, Ophus." "It was your wish to have one." Issei spoke. Issei pulled Ophus from the joy. After a minute, they separated holding each other. Issei spoke, "All right, things are changing. I got news." Every girl paid attention and Issei started to explain the situation. The girls were shocked about the end. Ireina spoke, "Well, let hope everything goes smoothly since we are vulnerable." Issei began to comfort his harem. "Don't worry, I'll be there when you need me. I'll fight for my family." The girls hugged Issei for dear life. In the far distant land there was several groups. One devil spoke, appearing as the leader. "Everything going as planned?" One of the subordinates spoke, "Yes. Everything going smoothly." The devil grinned and spoke as a madman, "The Maos would regret for making me an enemy. The apocalypse dragon will be awakened. No one will stop me." Thanks for watching this video. You really enjoy this video. Like, subscribe, and comment down below, and turn on that bell notification. Don't forget to support and follow Cheetah100704 for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story, link in the description. See you in the next video. Goodbye.